What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up to all of my friends and family that's in the building. I appreciate y'all for always holding me down and continuing to rock with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What up, friends and family? How y'all feeling today? It's Wednesday, Hump Day, June 17th, 2026, year of our Lord. Yeah. We got after hours again tonight. Yeah. You know what's so tripped out? Somebody asked me yesterday and they said, Anton, how come you haven't just taken a week off? How come you haven't just taken a week off? Take a week off, take 2 weeks off, travel the world, travel the country, go to a different place, just take a vacation. This is the vacation. The vacation is being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And it was like, most people need a vacation from the thing that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Most people need a vacation from the thing that they don't like. What's up, Mimi? 2 Live. I know some of y'all live in a silo, but I got people that love me, people that reach out to me, people that want to check on me, people that want to see me happy. It's messed up, ain't it? Forgot my glasses. There's a loneliness epidemic out here. It's a loneliness epidemic. Most people just want somebody to check on them. You know what I'm saying? I fear that the same thing that's happened in the United States of America is what was happening in Japan. That's what my fear is. My fear is the same thing that was what was happening in Japan is starting to happen here in America. That is what my fear is. What's going on, friends? How y'all feeling today? I'll explain it to you shortly. Just had an epiphany, and so I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull up that video because I was just watching it the other night. And I said that I was gonna share it with you guys. And what better time to share it with you than now? What's up, friends? How y'all feeling today? Need a consolidation of tools. That's what we need. Can I ask y'all a question before we get started with the show? Before I start talking my talk, what is your biggest weakness? What is the thing that is holding you back from being where you're supposed to be? What if you had to do come on, man, I want to have a serious conversation right now. If you had to try to figure out, the quote of the day is this. It's how did you go bankrupt? 2 ways, gradually and suddenly. Gradually and suddenly. How did you go broke today? Or how did you go bankrupt? Gradually and suddenly. And that comes from Ernest Hemingway. And the reason that I posted that is because failure is not instant. Keisha says helping people out a little too much. TM speaks is honest. He says I'm lazy. I want to know what is the thing that is holding you back from being the thing that you really want to be in life? 410 Jordan says trees, but I love smoking. All right, well, let me ask you a question. Do you love smoking more than you like being rich? It's a serious question. It's a genuinely serious question. Do you like doing whatever it is that prevents you from being successful more than you like being successful? I see procrastination, overspending, finances are my evil demon, discipline, fear of failing. I don't believe that, Loso way. But then again, you may be telling the truth. Shy and being consistent, says God's gift, shy. Procrastination and consistency, focus, chronic fatigue and pain. Oh, that's a good one. Consistency, mindset, telling other people no, says your car. Delusion and procrastination, being desperate for love and buying relationships. Being desperate for love, buying relationships. I like that one. 5 says procrastination, beating myself up when things go bad, wasting time on undeserving people. Pouring into others too much. Rent too high, but I don't want to live in the hood. Malk says having a wife. Woo! AJ said, I don't like weed more than I like money. I think I need to socialize more with high-end people. Overthinking. Honestly, just patience. Being too lax. Ski Report says it's the hoes. Azrael says some people confuse the fear of failure with the fear of success. Actually, not having enough time, not taking enough risk. It's hard to break out at 100K a year mark to get to the 250K. Discipline, analysis, paralysis, and finances. I don't know, says S.I. Hunter. I only hear about being rich. I know what the trees is like. Once you pass 1 million, the world changes. Staying consistent. Consistency is the big one. Kids. Malk, you got wife and kids. Oh, Jesus. Overthinking. I don't feel smart enough and disciplined. Let me see what's some other good ones. Poor decisions early on. Came through them, but feel behind. Not broke, but not rich either. Well, see, that's the problem. Because if you don't have the mindset that not being rich is broke, then you're never going to get rich. If you don't have the mindset that not being broke is broke, or not being rich is broke, let me say that again. If you don't have the mindset that not being rich is broke, then you're never going to get rich. I don't think you're hearing me. A lot of y'all have analysis paralysis, a fear of stepping out, not networking the way that you're not supposed to, smoking trees because you think you okay. You think you good. And you know you're not meeting the expectation that you have. You're not living up to the expectation or what your talent really provides you. But because you okay, you okay. 100,000 is safe for you. Being okay has been okay. And see, what y'all don't understand is, and I'm a really give you some game of what my mentality is. When I read the Bible, It's not just about spirituality for me. I take life lessons, business lessons, things that I can implement in my real life. One of my longtime criticisms of the church is when you go into the church, it's a lot of hallelujah, praise him, praise him, praise him, praise him. It's a lot of that. And when you get done doing all of that, you don't have no real life lessons. You don't have any real tangible thing that you can lean to and say, okay, well, this is the thing that I need to implement this week in order to be successful. And there's nothing wrong with praise, but praise with instruction is better. Praise when instruction is better. My thing with the church is that the church was supposed to be a place where you graduate from. It's not supposed to be a dependency. Come on, man. Let's kick it today. Because y'all don't really know nothing about preaching. Y'all don't know nothing about preachers. Y'all don't know nothing about the word. And just because you read it don't mean that you understand it. Church and your church home is not supposed to be a place like therapy. You're not supposed to be visiting it forever. You're not supposed to be sitting there talking about the same thing forever. It's supposed to be a graduation ceremony that comes along with it. You are supposed to be there to get what you need and then be moving on to do bigger things. You are supposed to be a person that goes off and spreads the gospel through the way that you live your life, which means your life is supposed to be the light. You shouldn't have to say it. People should be able to see it on you. They should attract themselves to you because they like, you know what, is something special about that person because they're doing extraordinary things that most people are fearful of doing, that they don't have inside of their life. And so when you go to church, it's supposed to be them preparing you and girding you up and putting you in a position to where you're supposed to be going off and doing greater things. You're not supposed to be in the same place for the rest of your life. Some of us have become dependent on it because it makes us safe. And when I always read the word, I come back to one of my favorite passages, right? My favorite lines in the Bible. Either be hot or cold, because lukewarm, he spits you out of his mouth. Anything in the middle is bad for you. It's the safest space for you to be broke. It's the safest space for you to bust hell wide open. It's the safest space for you to not achieve your dreams. And you can look at it two ways. You can look at it as the glass half full or the glass half empty, right? The glass half full way is, you know what? But I'm closer than this person. What do they say? I'm closer to Jeff Bezos than Jeff Bezos is to Elon Musk now. That's the new quote. That's the regular people quote. Listen to what I'm telling you right now. I'm about to change your life. I'm about to change your life. For those of you that tap in early, I'm going to change your life today because I'm going to reset your mind. Okay? Anything in the middle. Anything in the middle. Anything gray. Anything lukewarm. Anything not definitive is a pathway to failure. Because you think you just good enough, but you'll never make it. Heaven is rich. Hell is poor. The middle is thinking that you're going to get to heaven. Now, take this and translate it from a financial perspective, from a relationship perspective, from any perspective and apply it. The middle is thinking that you're good enough because you never fully reached heaven, but you're not in hell. And anything that's not heaven, and this is the misconception. This is the trick that the devil pulled on you. This is why God says, don't be lukewarm. Don't be gray. Anything that's not heaven, because heaven has no, okay, you did just good enough setting. It's not an okay area. It's either you made it or you didn't. Either you successful or you not. Either you rich or you poor. Anything under heaven is hell. You just so happen to be in purgatory for the moment. We ain't got to you yet. So your problem is you thought that being okay was okay, but it wasn't. You have to be exceptional in order to be exceptional. You have to be exceptional in order to be great. You have to be exceptional in order to be remembered. You have to be exceptional in order for nobody to not care about you when you die. So you have to either get there or you don't. And your problem is you thinking that being okay was enough. And my mentality is, it's not okay to be poor. I got to be rich, because anything less than rich is poor. You get it now? I don't think it's okay. When people jump in my chat and they say, well, what about the regular man? Or what about average people? I have to rethink to myself, oh yeah, it's people that think that being okay is okay. And so I guess I got to speak to them, because I'm not used to thinking about that or from that lens in my regular life. I never wanted to just be a regular person. I never wanted to live a regular life. I wanted to be exceptional. I wanted to have exceptional options. I wanted to do what I wanted to do when I do it. What you doing? You a halfway content creator. You stream some of the time. It don't matter if I wake up late. It don't matter if I have a late night on after hours. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I'm going. You know what? Oh man. Ain't no how you be doing at your regular job. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take off today. I'm tired. I'm sick. I went and partied last night. Well, if you party, you gotta wake up and you gotta go and get it the next day. It just is what it is. Ain't no off days. There is no off button. Ain't no off switch. I'm keeping it 100 with you. Ain't no off days, bro. What you talking about? Oh man, I want to be rich, but I can't stop smoking. You telling me some smoke in your lungs to give you an euphoria in your mind is more important than being able to go and buy your dream car? You telling me that is more important than being able to go and fly where you want to fly and not even care about what the cost is? How? How is smoking more important than being rich? How is the hoes? And here's the key. All of your vices, if you really love them that much, I promise you they're going to still be there when you get rich. But what you don't realize is that when you get rich, you're not going to be interested in those same vices, because you're going to realize that was the thing that was keeping you from being rich. It ain't a woman. It ain't a vice. It ain't nothing. Nothing that I cannot put away for an extended period of time in order to get what I'm supposed to have. Nothing. And nobody. Let no weapon formed against me prosper, but you let every weapon prosper against you. All of the weapons is prospering on you. You fall victim to every single vice. You know what? Let me put a stumbling block right there in the middle of the street for him. You know what? Let me go ahead and throw a speed bump right there, and you go over the speed bump doing 80 miles an hour. How you keep getting caught up? How you keep falling for the same hole? You told yourself, you know what, man, I'm not messing with her no more. She giving me a headache. But you still letting her, you still got her on unblocked, waiting for her to call. Answering the phone. Hello? Nah, man, because you made me mad. You letting her talk you through it. You just like her in sex. You talk her through it in sex, she talk you through it and continuing to put you in the same position. Still dealing with the same thing over and over again. Can't break away. Every day you chase box. You lose money every day for a woman? What, you thought that she was going to be gone when you got back? Dummy? What you talking about? I promise you, there is no woman that was like, you know what? He too busy making money. I don't want to deal with him no more. There is no woman, even if she say you don't spend enough time, leave anyway and go and get your bag. You know what she gonna do? She gonna still be there in that same spot talking about, Oh, I miss you. There is no woman that has ever said, you know what? Ugh, I can't stand the fact that he going to get too much money. Man, go get your money. Go be successful. And what you really going to start to find is they going to start coming to you. You're not going to have to call them and say, hey, what you doing? Grand Rising, Queen. The last thing you're going to ever have to do in your life when you winning and when you up and when you in that space that you're supposed to be in is make a phone call. You'll never have to make a phone call to a woman ever again. They will make themselves available to you. I promise on everything, on my life. I promise you. The thing that you will have to worry about more than ever is whether or not you feel like answering a phone at that particular time. You will never have to make another phone call. You'll never have to see him send another DM in your life. Hey, what's up, babe, girl? Hey, I seen you the other day. Somebody said these new chicks is different. No, they're not. They're easier. They're easier. SL100, that has never been more true. The banks will call you. You will not have to say, when I see black people and they say, oh man, you know, they don't want to give us small business loans or is it? That's a lie. That's a lie. Every other day, at least once a week, I get a call from the bank and they say, Anton, are you going to make an appointment to come and sit down with us so we can talk about your portfolio? They're going to ask you. They're going to reach out to you. They're going to reach out to you. I promise you, on everything. Everything. You're never going to have to, there's never not going to be an opportunity. They gonna entice you. They gonna send you pictures. You know how the women always complain about getting D pics? Guess what? There's a segment of guys that regularly get naked pictures in their inboxes and in they text messages and in their DMs. I promise you on everything. Because they trying to give you that rope. Hey, you like this? There's a segment of men that regularly get women sending them pictures because they're trying to get a way in. They trying to find a way in. I promise you, your biggest problem, and this is another reason why I tell people, ask Ray. Ray is in the chat. I see you. I tell people all the time, I say, listen, pray for character. It's two things that you're going to have to need in this life. And then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. The first thing that you're going to need is the work ethic and the endurance in order to become successful. The first thing, because you know it's true, Keisha, the first thing that you're going to need is the work ethic in order to become successful. You're going to get rich beyond your wildest dreams if you can put away all your vices and just focus. If you can focus for 6 months to a year and you set that because you're going to be failing and you're going to be trying stuff out and you're going to be trying to figure it out or whatever. If you can focus for 6 months to a year straight with no vices, you up. It's really just a matter of implementation at that point, right? You're going to be refining and retuning, and then you're just going to be getting to it. It's going to be a run like you've never seen before. You'll make more money than you'll ever be able to spend in your lifetime. Keeping it 100 with you. That's the first thing. If you can set aside friends, partying, women, drugs, going out, sleeping too much, put your games up. Put the PS5 and the Xbox up for 1 year. I know it's hard, but I love gaming. But I love it. Do you love gaming more than you like getting rich is the question. Do you like gaming more than you like getting rich? If you can discipline yourself long enough in order to create a habit that yields itself to success, you will thank me for the rest of your life. You will not be inside of my chat talking about, I hate women. The second thing that you have to pray for, because the success is coming if you're able to implement it. The second thing that you're going to have to pray for is character, because the biggest problem that you will have is denying your flesh from all of the options that you get when you get rich. It's having your pick, having your way, having your way out here in these streets. I'm telling you. Having your way. They be talking all the. I was listening last night. I'm glad that we're doing it back to back to back to after hours tonight. And we was talking about Molly, Kimmy, Lex. They were saying, yeah, height has been a thing for women and all of that. No, it's not. Not when you out here having your way. Let me tell you something, bro. Tall niggas, chicks, they going. Let me not say the N word. I'm sorry. This is the Millionaire Morning Show. I forgot we wasn't on after hours. Tall dudes, girls is going. All right, let me get this out of my cup. Sit on that for a minute. Sit on that for a minute. Oh, man, but she got a preference for this. Yeah, that's what she told you. That's what she told you. That's what she told you. You know, I kind of had this thing in my mind the other day. And I was thinking to myself, I said, let me not say that part. Let me not say that part. Let me read Super Chats and Cash Apps. Y'all ready to get started with the show? Y'all let these women out here convince y'all and tell y'all that they have preferences? Where? You know what your problem is? Your biggest problem is that you asked her what she likes. Why would I ever ask you that? Why would I ever ask you that? Hey, what are your preferences? Me. And the third leg. You got them tall and short at the same time. Tall in height and stature, short in the middle. Nah, Spencer Campbell in the building. Shout out to Spencer Campbell. I appreciate you, Spencer Campbell. Thank you for holding me down. Mike, that dude. What up, Mike, that dude? I appreciate you. Mike, that dude, I appreciate you. What up, though? The only thing worse, and I told y'all this the other day, the only thing worse than being a broke celebrity is being a tall guy with a little peen. Then I come through. What the? Go run through the chopper. Run to the chopper. I need to put this cup down. What is in that? Let me read some of the super chats also. Latrell in the building says, every level there's a new devil, but if you cheat and don't go through the pain of the last level, you won't be able to handle the next. That's a good one. I like that one. I like that one. That's got to be heartbreaking. Mimi, AD sent me back to the streets of YouTube. Says, I'm filing for panelimony and stamps. Let me polish these toes and head over to OnlyFans. Recipes, Mimi and shampoo, poo poo. Thank you for everything, AD. You're forever to go. What up, Mimi? I might have a spot for you, though. I think I got something that I'm thinking about. Let me figure that out in my head, Mimi. Mrs. Staffpreneur says, good afternoon from Monaco. Monaco Bag Chasers in the building says, Anton, you got a visit during a world event, came for F1 races and decided to stay 10 more days. Is it that nice? Is it that nice? I've never been to Monaco. You know, my fear of going to Monaco is going and saying, y'all too rich out here. Too rich for my liking. Chef the Check says, man, I really needed to hear this. Thank you. Yeah, man, we got to put away the vices. The Illusionist, thank you for the 20 ball, says, Pam, my dude's glad to catch the gospel this morning, big dog. What up to the Illusionist? Solution Trucking Channel in the building says, man, I miss Wednesday nights for talks like this, the OG Wednesdays. It's coming on Fridays. Fridays is when we going to do it. Country Boy Finesse says, email sent the video found you. Email sent the video found of you as Mr. Fields. Let me see, Mr. Fields. When did you just send it? I don't see nothing. Send it to me.
So Floyd Mayweather.
That ain't it. When did you send it? Small plane crashes. Josh Holkett, 1-year-old. Hit by SUV, 1-year-old shooting in Mississippi Walmart. Send it to me again. Oh, here it is. I think you sent it. Is this it? Say can't play video, probably. Is this spam? If I download this, am I going to get a virus? Oh. It's the intro video walking into the church. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Shout out to you, Tara Jersey. Oh, man. Shout out to my dog, Country Boy Finesse. I appreciate you. That's pretty good. It's small, though. It's like, what's the size of this video? What's the dimensions? It is 640 by 480. It's a very, very, very small video. 640 by 480. Well, hold on. What is this content about people protesting in Mississippi? Before I get to Floyd, before I get to all of this other stuff. What's this protest? Protest in Mississippi after a child shot.
Everybody that was involved need to be held accountable. Everybody that was involved need to be held accountable.
Let me pull this up for y'all. Give me a second. We're going to pivot for a second and we're going to move over to this. Let's see what we got to deal with now. Mississippi protest for justice at a Walmart. What y'all done got yourselves into this time? All right, hold on. Give me a second. Audio is messed up on it. Let's see what we dealing with. To Mississippi. I like Mississippi too. Here we go. You know what the funniest part about these videos and this stuff that we got going on? I'm about to read the rest of the Cash Apps and stuff in a minute too. You know what the funniest part about this stuff is? There are people that wait for me to react so they can react to what I said, and then they can say, well, see, Anton, he's look at what Anton said. We don't necessarily like what Anton said. And I'm like, yo, do you have your own opinion about what you think about the situation? Or are you 100% focused on what Anton is saying? I never knew that I would have this much power in my life. Let's head over to Mississippi.
Everybody that was involved need to be held accountable. I'm not giving up until I get justice.
Sunday afternoon, a 1-year-old boy killed after a shooting outside Walmart in Senatobia, where a law enforcement officer fired shots at the vehicle with the child inside. The family waited outside the hospital, anxious for information about another family member who was critically injured.
I don't know anything right now. My grandson gone. I just want justice.
The police department not telling us anything. They removed the baby's body without anybody seeing it.
The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says officers responded to a shoplifting call at the Walmart where they saw 2 adults and the child fleeing from the store into this vehicle. The driver then drove in the direction of the officers, nearly hitting one of them. That's when one officer fired shots at the car.
Policeman shot, open fire in a public setting over allegedly some Pampers.
I'm more angry because the situation that took place really was unnecessary. What I'm hearing from what happened, it was unnecessary.
Now the victim's family is demanding answers from law enforcement as to how this happened.
All we know is that a car was shot up and a 1-year-old baby was killed.
No, you know more than that.
And then nobody tells us anything, like we're not anybody.
Someone need to be held accountable for it. It's just not right.
MBI says they are assessing and gathering evidence on this incident and will share their findings once the investigation is complete.
Whatever the incident may have come to, it still didn't need for you to shoot 2 adults and a baby that was not even a threat to you.
Justice will be served. If it has anything to do with me, it will be served.
This ain't something me simple, boy. Y'all don't know. No justice, no peace.
So let's summarize this before I give my thoughts. Let's go ahead and summarize what's happening right now. So, and this is not abnormal. We've even done review videos on other channels of people shoplifting and stealing while they have their children with them. So you and your friend, I'm assuming maybe it's two women, but y'all go into Walmart and y'all decide that y'all want to steal. And of course, I'm going to say the uncomfortable thing, but we going to get there. So y'all decided that y'all wanted to go on Walmart and steal, right? And in this process of stealing, they decided that, you know what? We're going to call the police. And we're not going to just let you shoplift and take stuff out of the store. Now, a lot of people feel like it's okay for you to steal and that the stealing is not as severe because it's coming from a major corporation, especially a major corporation that's profitable, right? So because you are dealing with a major corporation that's profitable, it's okay for you to steal and you should be able to get away with it and they shouldn't chase you because your theft having life is more important than the merchandise that you're taking. So, and I will tell you that this is the same mentality that got Los Angeles and California messed up. It's the same mentality that got Seattle jammed up. It's the same mentality that got Oakland jammed up. And that it's always somebody else's fault while you stealing, right? Because I'm going to preach the same message that I've been preaching when it comes to the Carmelo Anthony case, when it comes to the Cyrus Carmack case. The end result is going to be the same. And let me just tell you what the ending is. We never have a conversation on how we can prevent ourselves from being in this in the first place. The only thing that we have is to be able to react, and we always make it a race-based conversation. It's never, why were you stealing? Why were you carrying a gun? None of that stuff. Why did you bring a knife? None of those questions need to be answered. The only thing that we need to focus on is what happened after you committed the crime. What happened after you decided to bring in a gun? What happened after you decided to do whatever it is that you wanted to do, right? So what's happening now is nobody cares. Did you see what the lady said? Let me rewind it for you. I'm going to rewind it for you from what the lady said.
Son gone, I just want justice.
The police department not telling us anything. They removed the baby's body without anybody seeing it.
The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says officers responded to a shoplifting call at the Walmart where they saw two adults and the child fleeing from the store into this vehicle. The driver then drove in the direction of the officers, nearly hitting one of them. That's when one officer fired shots at the car.
Policeman shot, open fire in a public setting over allegedly some Pampers.
I'm more angry.
Nobody ever knows anything. Not the part where they drove and almost rolled over the police officers. Not the part where they were stealing. Not even the part where they decided to bring their kid with them in order to go and steal. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is the aftermath. The shooting. Not that you put your kid in danger. Not that you were stealing. Not that you brought your kid with you to steal. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. They don't care about how you put yourself in this position. They only care about whether or not it was a white cop and a black person that was stealing. Now, if this was a white person that was stealing, there would be no protests. You know why? Because nobody would want to make it a race-based because you would remove the racial aspect of it. They don't even care. Let me tell you something about people. They don't care about stealing. They don't care about right and wrong. They don't care about any of that stuff. They don't even care. They don't care about children. They don't care about whether or not it's a kid. They only care about if it was a black kid and a white cop. The only thing that matters is the race aspect of this conversation. Remember when we was in Minneapolis and they had the gay lady, the lesbian woman, and her girlfriend was like, drive, baby, drive. Drive, baby, drive. They tried to mute that part, but I went and found the original audio, and the girl was telling her, drive, baby, drive. And then and the police officer was like, la, la, la. Boop, 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 boop. So now, it doesn't, let me pour myself a drink. Now, it doesn't matter about why things happen the way that it happened. The only thing that matters is what was the aftermath. Because they're always going to say, well, they didn't deserve it based off of the crime that was committed. Not that they shouldn't have committed the crime. They don't deserve it based off of the crime that was committed. So now, this has become public enemy number one. All of these police officers right here, they don't know these people. They don't know their family. They don't know if they're racist. They don't know nothing about it. The only thing that they're going to say is us versus you because you got on white skin and a uniform. God gave you white skin. You picked the uniform. You the ops. Boop, 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 boop. Is your fault my kid got shot because I stole, ran, and then tried to run over a police officer? According to this report, according to this news report, it's not my fault that I got my kid shot. It's your fault that you shot into the car and it just so happened to hit my kid because you thought that you was getting ran over after I stole from Walmart in Mississippi. If I was ever going oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. But guess what? I guarantee you, there will be so many people. You know the one thing about news is that I'll never have to worry about a drying up of the news because there will always be people that do things that they're not supposed to do, blame somebody else for it, and then there's going to be 1,000 think pieces, and the news cycle continues. When I wake up in the morning, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I don't pre-plan these shows the day before, the night before. I wake up in the morning and I say, I wonder what happened today. And then I go on my email and I scan through. Actually, now I'm able to leverage AI. When I wake up in the morning, it's so funny because AI gives me a summary of what my emails and everything that's happening. Did you know that AI gives you a summary when you wake up in the morning? It gives you a daily brief. Look at the very top. See that? Here's a daily brief of what you got going on today, Anton. See the daily brief at the top? So then I click it and I say, it's even easier. I don't even have to really scan my email. And they say, oh, well, this is what's going on and this is what you got happening. And for your information, you have to prepare for this and so on and so forth and blah, 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 blah. And then it gives me a whole list of things that I need to look ahead to. It gives me inbound brand and content partnerships, things that people are pitching me. And when I was telling y'all that all of these gambling companies continue to try to reach out to me, it'll tell you, listen, look, DraftKings, review the DraftKings casino campaign that they want you to do, Anton. They're offering you a ton of money. AI at this point, the way that I'm using it, the way that we implement it, is simplified my life. It just gives me a whole layout of what happened over the day before so that I can focus on, okay, well, I'm going to pick this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. We're going to turn down this proposal. 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 Right now, I'm in the land of no. I told y'all that all of these companies be reaching out on a regular basis too, didn't I? I said, listen, there is no shortage with the numbers that I have of people that are reaching out to me and companies that's reaching out to me and saying, we want to sponsor you. We want to do a partnership with you. We want to buy into your platform. We want to do all of this stuff. And what do I just say all the time? Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm chilling. Not interested. Not interested. First of all, let me say this. I'm the realest that there is. I show the receipts, number one. And number two, I tell y'all that all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. I don't care about the same thing that everybody is, all of these podcasts and stuff, they keep getting all of these. I don't care about money the same way that everybody else. I don't want the same type of money. I'm not going to pitch a casino. I'm not going to pitch any of these other companies that everybody else is pitching. I can get big deals. And trust me, M's on the table. M's on the table. I don't care about that stuff. That don't mean nothing to me. I'm looking for the stories. I'm looking for the people. I'm looking to continue to build with the people that I love. I got over 24,000 Patreon members at this point. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. But the one thing that I know is consistent, and the two things is for certain, and the three things is for show. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Three things is for show is this. There will never be a shortage of news because people can't help themselves from doing messed up stuff. There will never be a shortage. There will never be a shortage of people running in the Victim Olympics. You know the thing that I would be more fearful of as a content creator, as a person that reports on what happens in popular culture and news? You know what will be the death of me? But I'm never worried about being the death of me as far as a platform, is if y'all stop committing crimes. If everybody in the culture said, you know what? We don't want to commit crimes no more. We tired of having children out of wedlock. We not stealing from Walmart and taking our babies to do so. We not going to be posing with guns on Instagram. We not out here crashing out and getting with chicks in the wrong place at the wrong time and putting ourselves in a negative position. You know what? We just going to take care of our families. We're going to be on top of things. We're going to do things the right way. And we're going to make sure that we're on top of it. And we're not even going to talk about it on the internet. You know the type of people that's so difficult to find news on? Asians and Indians. It's so hard to find news on Asians and Indians. Because even when they do their stuff, they just be quiet about it. They don't even talk about it. They don't talk about it on social media. They keep it out, keep it low profile. They chilling. But I'll never, ever, ever run out of content or things to talk about because I will always be able to depend on you and your brother and your sister and your siblings protesting over you stealing and then your kids suffering as a result of the things that you did. I would have to cut the revenue in half if y'all decided that y'all wanted to get y'all life together. Nope. Nope. But here we are. Back to back. We going back to back. First week, Cyrus. As soon as that started to die down, Carmelo. Right after that starts to die down, Baby at Mississippi. I didn't commit the crimes. I'm just reacting to it. I'm just listening to it. I listened to what you said inside of the chat. Y'all sent it to me in my email. I went and got it, and I said, ain't this something? More crime. More crime. Police, y'all ain't never going to be short out of a job. You may not necessarily like the job, but you'll always be able to go and get a bag. If you're a police officer, you'll always be able to go and get a bag. You know why? Because there ain't never going to be no shortage of crime in these communities. You're going to be able to get all the overtime you want. You know what? Look, this is where the overtime is right here. They getting paid because you want to be a fool. They got to be staffed. Hey, listen, breaker 1, 2. We got to need more police officers on the Mississippi side in front of the Walmart. Hey, honey, I got to get some overtime today. Why? They was stealing again. Who? You know who. Oh, yeah, we can't say it out loud because then they're going to call us racist. They out here bringing their babies into the Walmart and stealing. Who? It's them. It's them again. You know who. Anytime we hear of a teen takeover, it's them again. Shooting in the neighborhood. 3 people dead. 2 people injured. 3 o'clock in the morning. I wonder who that could be. Where's that going to be at? South side of Chicago. Then people tell me, Anton, don't stereotype, you never know. Y'all don't even do the right type of crimes. Y'all do low-level, low-hanging fruit crimes. You know what I'm saying? You see Asian people doing crimes. They done already robbed you blind of every single thing that you can find in your life. They done already stole every dime, and by the time that they even get a whiff that something is coming down the pipeline, because Nick Shirley done pulled up, they already back in China. They just stole $37 million in fraud, food stamps, WIC, unemployment insurance, PPP loans, and they already back in China. You're doing the wrong crimes. Even when you decide to do crimes, you stupid with it. They go for everything. And they may even pick one person to be the sacrifice. 50 people benefited. One person is going to take their L, and they're going to happily do it because, you know what? The rest of my family is going to benefit. We got 50 million, 50 people benefited. All of them, I sent all of the money back in China. You'll never recover it. You'll never recover it. Ever. What up, OG? You'll never figure it out. Even Somalians, they just stealing, they robbed the world blind. They didn't even know how to read, write, spell, but they was watching y'all kids down there in Minneapolis, and they stole the world blind. Blind as a bat. My Arabic people over here, they be over here just Chaldeans, Arabics. Oh, you got a gas station again? Man, that ain't no gas station. That ain't no corner store. That's a money laundering operation in plain sight. And they just take everything. And you out here doing dumb crimes. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Put your mask on. It's you. You got on a hot black hoodie and 90 degrees in the summertime, and you out there like this. Hey, man, give me your truck. And the people that's doing the bigger crimes that's sitting inside of the store over there, they calling the police on you like, we don't want this type of heat over here. Hey, cops, get him from over here because we don't want this type of investigation. They're going to mess up where the real money is being stolen at. dumb, stupid, finding the dumbest and the wrong things to protest. And that's why people don't take us serious. Because the only time that we protest, we use the same talking points. Protesting. Dumb stuff. Stupid as hell. Bing, pop, boom, pop, pam. The type of stuff I'm on you wouldn't understand. The type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand. So stupid. And you know me, I'm not going to even entertain the lowest hanging fruit. I see some of the low hanging fruit. Shout out to the low hanging fruit inside of the chat. I brought one of y'all up last Friday. It was the very first caller. They couches be scratched up. They broke. I don't even know how they still talking on their Obama phones. I don't take these fools serious. I don't take them serious at all. Peekaboo. 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 I don't take them serious. I don't take them serious at all. I let them do what they do so that I can continue to create content about them. Peekaboo. All of my Kendrick Lamar listeners in the chat. Peekaboo. Idiots. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. His couch was peeling, wasn't it? I said, what are you sitting on? The couch was clear. Isaiah Robinson says, what up, AD and the Chaser? Sent you an email, love and blessings. All right, Isaiah, I got you. The Illusionist says, if you ever come to Tennessee, you should hit Chattanooga. The rate of growth and development here is crazy. The Detroit of Tennessee, I'm standing on that. Chattanooga is popping? What's in Chattanooga? I ain't never been to Chattanooga. Saturday Night Beater says, I never thought about being profiled to your rant. The parents should be charged, says Wyatt B. Manny Plays PC says, going to say something controversial. You know, that saying about women and not being able to take accountability, I'm starting to think about that as a black culture. Oh, yeah. We don't believe in accountability. We don't believe in accountability. Weaponry Fitness says, you will never run out of content because of the dumb stuff that people do at Walmart. My baby girl Crimson says, greetings and praises to Lord Anton Daniels. May you have a blessed and splendid day today. What Donnell said, you about to get flued out. You about to get flued out. She about to have her a first class ticket to Detroit, that is. Chase Barnes says, them is a movie title. I'm about to make a movie called Them. AR's back says, I just set up my daily briefs in Gemini. Yep, this is see. Some people get it and they already start to make the adjustments. Chris Cunningham says, you a pastor, you're James P. Fields. That is a pastoral name, too. Smoky Mountains in Tennessee is beautiful. Nah, y'all be having too many bears. Yeah, it did go over their head. Don't worry about it, though, G Strong. They not going to get it, but it's okay. Some people will catch it and some people don't. Some people will catch it, some people don't. Floyd. They saying Money May is out here looking bad in these streets. According to reports, ESPN is reporting that Floyd Mayweather, this is according to ESPN. Michael Rothstein wrote this article yesterday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Boxer Floyd Mayweather is facing 2 felony charges alleging theft and intent to defraud by passing a bad check to purchase a $200,000 watch in Las Vegas according to Nevada court records. Mayweather was not present for a Clark County court hearing Monday and was instead represented by his counsel. Mayweather's official charges are theft, value $100,000 or greater, and draw or pass check with intent to defraud, value of $1,200 or greater. Clark County prosecutors filed an initial criminal complaint on April 27th, according to court records obtained by ESPN, following 3 days later by a court order that Mayweather appear before a judge. Monday's appearance by his attorney apparently fulfilled that order. Complaint alleges Mayweather wrote a $200,000 check from a Wells Fargo bank account to Gold and Beyond, a high-end Las Vegas resale boutique, on December 31st, 2024. The complaint alleges Mayweather wrote the check when he had insufficient money, property, or credit in the account to pay it in full. ESPN obtained a copy of the receipt from AP for the AP watch that was purchased on December 25th, on Christmas 2024. The theft charge claims Mayweather wrote the check in exchange for obtaining property or services while knowing that the check would not be paid when presented. The complaint alleges Mayweather did this knowingly, feloniously, and without lawful authority. If found guilty on the fraud charge, Mayweather could face 1 to 4 years in prison and up to $5,000 in fines plus restitution costs. According to Nevada state law, felony theft carries prison terms of 1 to 20 years and up to $15,000 in fines. Mark Cook, an attorney for Cook and Calices, which represents Gold and Beyond, told ESPN on Tuesday that his client filed a complaint with the Clark County District Attorney's Office in February. That probably means that they was trying to get their money back all of this time. The reason for the delay is that my guy trusted Mayweather and was trying to give him every opportunity to make good on that. This is what Cook said. And it got to a point where he wasn't even getting responses and wasn't getting money for a watch that Mayweather had for over a year. Cook said his client didn't want to press charges against Mayweather in hopes of resolving the issue. Cook said his client attempted to go through every avenue possible but got ignored. Mayweather's attorney, Adrian Lobo, told ESPN in a statement Tuesday night that her client had absolutely no intent to defraud Gold and Beyond, and that he had a long-standing business relationship with the store's owner before and after the alleged transaction, and that Gold and Beyond's owner decided to take the claim to the Clark County District Attorney instead of filing a civil claim to resolve the dispute. Let me say this. What do you mean you decided to take the claim to the Clark County District Attorney instead of filing a civil claim to resolve the dispute? I should not have to file a civil claim to resolve a dispute. If we have a long-standing business relationship, as your attorney says, then that means that I should not have to file a civil claim to get paid for merchandise that you've had for over a year. And let's be very, very clear about this. You know when you owe. Everybody knows when they owe. Now, if you forget, okay, you know what? I owe him $50 over here, $75 or something, maybe even $150 because it just slipped my mind. I'm with that, especially for a person that got a lot going on. They busy, they got a lot of business and all of that stuff. But when you're owing somebody $200,000, I don't even sleep well at night. I wouldn't even be able to sleep well. And if I'm dodging you for a year, listen, let me tell you something. The name of this show is Broke is Broke. And the reason why I labeled the name of this show Broke is Broke is because what I keep hearing from people on the internet is his broke ain't the same as everybody else's broke. Now, broke is broke. Let's be very, very clear. Broke is broke. I'm not going for that narrative anymore, any longer. Nobody is going to be able to sell me on the idea, well, their broke ain't the same as your broke. Man, get out of here with that. It's worse. It's worse. It's 10 times worse. Matter of fact, being rich broke is worse than being poor broke. in my opinion. Let me read the rest of the article. I'm going to come back and tell you why. This matter does not belong in the criminal courts, Lobo wrote in a statement, and Mr. Mayweather looks forward to being vindicated through court proceedings. I disagree. If you wrote a bad check and you stole my property and you had it over a year, and I'm not able to sell that property, I'm not able to obtain it back from you, you stole from me. That's a criminal problem. And then it becomes a civil problem. Lobo said in an email that Mayweather has no travel stipulations as a part of the case, and his next court date is September 17th. It is the latest in a litany of legal woes for Mayweather. Plaintiffs in separate civil cases in at least 4 states allege Mayweather in at least 4 states alleges Mayweather owes them money. The Internal Revenue Service has a tax lien of more than $7.2 million levied against Mayweather for unpaid taxes in 2018 and 2023. I don't think that that's a big problem. Owing the IRS is normal, but owing regular everyday people is a problem in my opinion. A Las Vegas area gated community filed a separate lien for over $22,000. The IRS declined comment about Mayweather's lien, saying the agency cannot discuss or release tax information. Mayweather is also the plaintiff in separate suits he brought earlier this year against Showtime for $340 million and his former business associates for $175 million. He alleges fraud and aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty in both civil cases. Mayweather is scheduled to fight kickboxer Mike Zambitis in an exhibition on June 27th in Athens, Greece. A source close to Mayweather told ESPN on Tuesday that Mayweather still has his passport and is expected to leave for Greece later this week. There was a threat of Mayweather's passport being revoked at one point because of the IRS lien, the source says, but Mayweather's tax attorneys have been working with the federal agency and he will be able to go to Greece for the fight and then return. And the reason why, he's able to be able to work through this is because that's the way that he makes money, right? That's the way that he makes money. So now, when I'm starting to hear all of this pile up, because at first, I don't believe it, right? At first, you got to prove it to me that a person is actually going through it and that they actually, are in a space that you say that they are, right? At first, I'm like, nah, I'm not going through it. I'm not about to listen to no gossip columns. But now that we have more credible sources starting to report on this, it's bad. It's bad. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I don't feel sorry for it because if you owe somebody for a $200,000 watch, that's just being purely negligent. That's purely negligence. If you owe because you went and got a $200,000 watch that you didn't need and you getting charges filed against you because you can't pay that, you can't pay the $22,000 lien. If I owe my contractors for more than two or 3 days, I get antsy. I really do get antsy. And so to be able to, let me just do a little quick search. Floyd Mayweather career. And none of this is always accurate. You know what I'm saying? But they say that Floyd Mayweather, according to Yahoo Sports and Sportico, has generated an estimated $1.16 billion in career earnings from boxing. He earned between 275 and 300 million alone in 2017 versus Conor McGregor. In 2015 versus Manny Pacquiao, they say he earned approximately 250 million, which generated 4.6 million pay-per-view buys. In 2013, he earned 80 million against Canelo Alvarez. Now, check this out. They say that while his career earnings, and this is why y'all got to stop listening to celebrity net worth and all of this stuff. Another site says that his career earnings top 1.1 billion and his current net worth is estimated to be between 400 million and 560 million. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. This is why I don't believe Celebrity Net Worth, and all of these other sites, because first of all, it is impossible for you to be able to compartmentalize how much money a person has because you don't know. You don't know. Somebody said no endorsements is what messed them up. I don't really know if you're really taking this into consideration. $1.16 billion in career earnings. And that has nothing to do with anything else he had outside of boxing. I didn't say 1.16 million. $1.16 billion in career earnings. I'm pretty sure that not having endorsements wasn't a problem. I'm like 99.9% sure that not having endorsements wasn't the problem. I'll tell you what it is. Y'all want to know what it is? Y'all want to know what Mayweather's problem was? It's two things. It's only two things. Lifestyle and gambling. Lifestyle and gambling. Actually, I can put an honorable mention third. Thinking that you know better and that you was bigger than the program when it comes to making smart decisions financially. And this is where the education parts kick in, right? Listen, incredibly talented, disciplined people generate a lot of revenue. Incredibly wise, smart, and educated people are the ones that are able to keep their shirt. Incredibly talented, disciplined people are able to make millions, if not billions of dollars like Floyd Mayweather did. Educated people and people that are wise are the ones that are able to keep their shirt. Because you can make all of the money in the world. Obviously, you can make over $1 billion in your purse and you're fighting in your career earnings, and it doesn't necessarily translate into you being wise with your spending or your investments. We automatically assume that just because they made a lot of money that they're going to be rich for the rest of their life. And I'm telling you on everything. Listen to what I'm saying, Linda. Listen, Linda. Most actors, most celebrities, most rappers, most athletes, 7 to 10 years after they're retired, they are on the verge of broke. You know what's more impressive than an athlete making a lot of money in his 20s and the 30s? Is people still being able to generate a lot of revenue in their 50s and their 60s. I hold that to a way bigger standard. I don't look at a person as a person that has made a lot of money in my life. I don't look at a person that has made a lot of money in their 20s and their 30s, and I'm impressed with it. I don't. Because I can look at their lifestyle and say, you know what? I hear you. Okay. Talk to me in 20 years. Talk to me in 20 years. I want to see what your life is like in the 50s and the 60s. That's the real litmus test for whether or not a person is great at what they do. I don't care nothing about what you did in your 20s, because you got to figure out how to live off of that or invest it. And this lends itself to another conversation. I see people in the chat a lot of times saying stuff like, oh man, if I had this type of money, I could live the rest of my life. No, you couldn't. You wouldn't be no different than them. You're no different than the people that you idolize. You're no different than the people that you idolize. Because when you get it, it's a completely different conversation. And this is why I got the bag chasers. This is why I got the Patreon. Some of your favorite people, some of the biggest people that you know, content creators, athletes, a lot of people, they subscribe to my Patreon. Because A, they trying to learn how to get it. Or B, they trying to learn how to keep it. Or C, they trying to figure out how they're able to live off of it for the rest of their life. It's a lot of people that made $1 million. Very few people are going to die rich. Very few people are going to die rich. Listen to what I'm telling you, bro. And I'm not speaking to all athletes and all rappers and all of that, all right? So don't make it a definitive thing. Listen to what I'm telling you, big dog. Most people, all of these people that's living these fast lives, they broke. They broke. It eventually catches up with you. If you don't manage it effectively, it eventually catches up with you. There's some of y'all that's watching this right now, and I want y'all to do better. And what I mean by I want you to do better is you're going to have money. You're going to get to a certain space in your life. And the first year that you have it, you're going to crash out. And the first year you have it, you're going to crash out. When you first start getting the bag, you're going to get all of the things that you loved and that you thought that you wanted, and you're going to try to manage through it, but you ain't going to be able to handle it. And it's going to take you to a different place. All of the women that you ever wanted, you're going to fly them out. All of the watches and the jewelry that you ever wanted, you're going to go and buy them. And you're going to justify it to yourself. And you're going to say, well, this is a long-term investment. Well, this is only a fraction of what I make. The key, I don't care what you do the first year. The first year, get it out of your system, have a good time, just don't spend it all. I don't care about the first year. It's the second year that we have to worry about, right? To all of my athletes that's watching this and rewatching it, to all of my celebrities, to all of the people that's not rich yet that plan on take it in. Listen to what I'm telling you. The first year, you're going to do what you're going to do. We got to figure out if you're going to sustain this in the second year. Because if you're still doing the same thing in the second year that you was doing in the first year, you're not going to make it, big dog. You're not going to make it. You're going to have to get used to having money, and then you're going to have to start making an adjustment to where, hey, all right, I'm only going to live off of 10% of what I make. I got to live off of 10% of what I make, and I got to invest the other 90%. I got to figure out how to get rid of the money. Most athletes don't even start thinking about doing things differently until their second and third contract. Why you think all of these rappers and these athletes is trying to start podcasts now? Fact, King David, you'll become the trick you always wanted to be. That's a fact. Donnell Rawlings said something that was so funny. I'm going to say this one thing that he said at the Pulling Up Dave Chappelle show. He said, getting flued out is a rich man's sport. And it's not that people that don't have money can't do it, but they got to go through certain things and they got to look at their budget in order to be able to substantiate it, in order to be able to justify it. You gonna become the trick that you always wanted to be. It's a lot of dudes that watch these shows. They watch my panels. They watch After Hours. They watch Room 9. They watch the Anton Daniels channel. They watch the Millionaire Morning Show. They're a part of the Patreon. And you know what they say? Oh, man, that's tricking. Oh, man, you simping. They just don't have access yet. That's all it is. Because the first Spirit flight, when Spirit was still in business, they first Spirit flight, they was doing the same thing. They just did it over in Colombia. They just did it over in Sosua. They just did it over in Thailand. They did the same thing. And then they came back and they said, what, you the dick police? They just rebranded it. They didn't say we the trick bros. They said we the passport bros. That's all they did. They did a rebrand. You know what? Women over here, they're so submissive. Oh, nigga, you just a cheap trick. Oh, you just a cheap trick. That's all. You think that you going across borders. I seen a dude the other day on Instagram, and he really thought he had him some fine stuff, right? So he over there in Colombia, and he had two girls, and he was kissing them in the mouth and stuff. First thing I was thinking to myself is, ew, you kissing her in the mouth? You kissing her in the mouth? Yeah, this is my girl over here. Oh, you in love? You in love with the tricking? I'm in love with the tricking. You in love with it? AD, did you see the Burning Cross story in Chicago? I'll cover it. If y'all want me to cover it, I can cover it. I haven't seen it yet. They in love with the tricking. I don't take any of these guys serious. I don't. Anytime I see these guys doing something they're not supposed to do, I just put on my goggles. Bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. The type of tricking them on you wouldn't understand. The type of tricking them on you wouldn't understand. The type of tricking them on you wouldn't understand. Bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. The type of tricking them on you wouldn't understand. The type of tricking them on you wouldn't understand. I just put on my tricking goggles. Those are my tricking goggles. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the paymaster. Well, in Detroit, we call them paymasters. And let me say something. Ain't nothing wrong with being a paymaster. It's nothing wrong with it. You can justify it. Oh, no, dog. I don't pay her to come. I pay her to leave. I know. Nah, see, the real ones, we don't pay for them to come. We pay them to leave. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I'm no judge and jury of what you do with your resources. What you trade your time in for money, that's on you. I don't listen, and it comes in a lot of different forms. Lot lizards, the club, whatever you do, passport bros, however you play it is your business. Just don't come into our chat talking all of that nonsense, talking all of that players way. Yeah, no, dog, I used to listen to Pimp C and Bun B, UGK for life. I want to hear none of that, bro. It's paymasters. It's paymasters. That's all it is paymasters. And they do it on all levels. You're not exclusive. You're not special. Nothing is different. It's just paying. They do it at the highest levels. They do it at the lowest levels. I seen Paul Pierce. He was talking about streamers. Like, man, what these streamers doing, man? They over here. Tricks is gonna trick. You know what I'm saying? You know? Shout out to the Illusionist says, we were the first to offer a gig speed of internet with 100% fiber network, Gig City. In more recent news, we've got a quantum computer that went online and is soon to have our first conference regarding it. Wow, that's crazy. Young Money says Floyd had more cars than my GTA, my GTA Online character. The Illusionist says, forgot to mention the movie studios and other major businesses investing to take advantage of our high-speed internet, 25 gigs, and that's equal upload and download. Y'all got up and download speeds the same? That's impressive. Constitutional Trucker says, financial intelligence is not common sense. 80% of lottery winners go bankrupt in 2 to 5 years. More money gets spent. Godson says, AD, they not tracking while they're marching, and worse for Floyd, for George Floyd and Derek Chauvin. The Somali community was down the street at the Leering Center. Stevie, what up, Stevie? Stevie says you and Marshawn Lynch would will break the internet in an interview, especially with this NIL money that's floating around. Yeah, I just seen my girlfriend pop up. TS Car Wash and Detail Services, 80 play that Luda Janice. Shut the F up freestyle and thanks. I'm going to play it for Slimmy tonight. I got my girlfriend right here. Her name is Island Gal Q. She says, shout out to Anton and Rita. It has been a pleasure with you all these past years. Keep grinding, Anton, best content creator on YouTube. You know, I was just, I was talking about you at the beginning of the show. Was it yesterday? No, that was last night. I was talking about you last night on After Hours. And I was like, yo, Q been with me for a long time. Like, that is the homie. Never switched up on me. Never. I said, Q, first of all, let me say this. Q has made a lot of money. You know what's more impressive? Let me call you real quick. I just got a question. Because I'm very impressed with one specific thing. Because I know you've been egging for a while. Because you got different things going on in your life. I got one question for Q.
Good morning.
Q, I got a question. I'm on a live stream, obviously.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You've made a lot of money with me.
Mm-hmm.
How were you able to walk away from the money?
I mean, the money was never why I got into it. Like, I rocked with you before. I was doing the stream with you before I was getting paid. Like, I never was the content creator. I was never like them other broads that wanted to get one up and use you for money or getting followers. But nah, I did it because I enjoyed y'all. And then y'all was cool people. Like, you and Rita was very cool. Y'all didn't want nothing from me. But nah, my intentions was good. Your intentions was good. But this was never about the money for me.
But you still
But
made
them other brides, Anton. Them other brides is a different story.
Oh my gosh. So what's your next venture offline?
No, I feel like when I got into this, like I never saw it going long term because I'm not like a content creator. I can't really divest my time like y'all to do this. Like I'm the type of person that like to take a break off of social media, disappear for a couple months and then come back. I can't do that with this. So it's more like, backing off of social media, getting back one with myself, closer to God and stuff. And I can't do that being on panels. But nah, I'm definitely still coming to meetups and stuff like that. But
yeah, I'm gonna probably do one in third week in July or something like that.
Yeah, and see, I'm going back home for a month, so yeah, I can't just disengage. I'm going back home. It's my birthday. I just want to be at peace.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, that's impressive. It's very impressive. But you have been rolling with me for years.
Nah, you've been having me on your team for years. I appreciate that. We've seen a lot. A couple of these fake people come and go, broads, not even the women, just the men too,
Yeah.
Real ones will stick it out.
Yeah. Well, I love you. I always got your back, and anything you ever need from me, I always got you. So
definitely, I'll pop up on the night crew once in a while.
Yeah.
Talk crap to Clinton and them.
Well, you still got access, so.
Okay, definitely will. After my birthday, once I get a 10, I'll come back and see y'all.
All right, baby.
All right, have a good day.
All right, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Q in the building. Q. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult to find authentic people that genuinely is there for the right reasons. She one of them. She is definitely one of them. I love Q with everything in my body. That's my girl. That's my home girl. Forever. That's my sister. Call me Tazi. What up, Tazi? Says I read somewhere that numbers are the closest thing to the handwriting of God. Ooh. Your budget is like your Bible. Watch it closely and live below your means, and you will be fine at bare minimum. Shout out to the one of the biggest bag chasers. Call me Tazi in the building. What up, Tazi? Tazi be showing off, man. He be showing out. He don't even care about none of that. Shout out to Ray Sean. Shout out to Tazi. Shout out to Q. Shout out to all of my people that's been rocking with me for a long time. What is this cross burning thing that y'all got going on? I'm a pivot. Wasn't something that I seen in a wheelhouse today. Cross burning. Let me look at my emails really quickly. Anton. Small plane, Mayweather. I don't see it in my emails. I don't see it in my emails. Where is this cross burning thing? I guess I could just look it up. Cross burning. Is it Chicago? Oh, let's see. Let me pull it up for y'all. Y'all think that this is y'all show. Y'all think that y'all can come in here and just keep on saying suggestions and say, Anton, what are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts about that? And I'm just automatically supposed to just do what you say. I'm just supposed to just listen to you and react to the things that you think is meaningful. That's what you think. But it's not. It's both of ours. It's not just yours by itself. It's an Asian? Is this an Asian person that did this? We'll get there. Cross party. What is this? Grant Park? Let's go up one more notch in audio. Because for whatever reason, these news reports don't have their audio together. Cross burning Chicago. What else is it that I need to be reacting to before I get back to the regular show? What else y'all got for me? What else is it that y'all got for me that I need to be focused on? The chat is a part of the show, but I'm not going to let y'all bully me. I'm not going to let y'all bully me with the topics. Let's see. Cross burning. Looks like it's an Asian guy. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what's happening here.
Tonight, we're going to begin with that NBC 5 News Investigates exclusive. This was the startling and offensive scene in Grant Park last Tuesday. A burning cross, a symbol for centuries that has represented racism and hatred. For just about a week now, Chicago police and the FBI have been trying to identify a man who is suspected of setting up this cross and torching it. Well, tonight, the NBC Chicago investigative team has now ID'd a 21-year-old college senior who says he is the person in this photo and describes why he did it. To our investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy, who has interviewed the man behind the burning cross and tonight has this exclusive story.
Until right now, the young shirtless man running from a burning cross in Grant Park was a nameless person of interest in a Chicago police arson investigation and subject of a possible FBI hate crime case. NBC5 Investigates has now interviewed the man who admits burning the cross. University of Illinois Chicago senior Merlin Liu says he knew the implications of a burning cross and had placed a MAGA hat atop the cross, explaining his motivation was to protest Trump administration injustice, not something racist.
How did you land on a burning cross?
It came up to my head one day. I wanted to find something that I could do by myself, like no organization, no friends, no. I did know about this historical relevance beforehand, but I didn't know the severity, how racially motivated it may seem from what I did, because my protest has nothing to do with race, nothing to do with gender.
Should you have done it some other way?
Yeah, probably.
Merlin Liu is a 21-year-old Naperville native.
And Liu rips this forehand shot.
That's him playing tennis at Neuqua Valley High School, where he was graduated in 2022. Last week, Liu sent this scripted video to NBC, claiming responsibility for the cross burning, but saying he had no affiliation with the Ku Klux Klan, apologizing to those who were offended. In the video, he also criticized President Trump.
I don't want to wait till his term ends. I don't want to wait until he may or may not get impeached. I want him gone right now.
On that video, are you threatening him?
No.
You say that you think that he should be brought to an end.
I said he deserves to stand trial to the American people. Some paraphrase, I guess. But
I think you use the word end.
That's what I mean by end. I mean, by end, I don't mean like a civil war, if that is the imagery that you're trying to imagine.
Liu says he built this cross after carrying wooden slats from his near West Side apartment to Grant Park last Tuesday afternoon. He showed the red ball cap that he put on the top beam and used lighter fluid and toilet paper to get it all going.
I put a red hat to signify the MAGA hat, the Make America Great Again hat. So that was, yeah, that's what I tied on top.
But that's not visible in the one video that was taken by a motorist.
Liu says he was protesting what he calls MAGA Christian nationalist supporters and the Trump administration ruling class.
What did I tell y'all the other day? What did I tell y'all the other day about straight, heterosexual, Christian, white men? And Trump is the personification of that. What did I tell y'all about that? You know what was really offensive to people, ironically? What was really offensive to people was a UFC 250 that celebrated Trump's 80th birthday at the White House. You know why that was so offensive to people? Is because it represented everything that this country is and what we stand for that people want to tear down. He just told you, literally in the video. Listen to what he said.
A red hat to signify the MAGA hat, the Make America Great Again hat. So that was, yeah, that's what I tied on top.
But that's not visible in the one video that was taken by a motorist.
Liu says he was protesting what he calls MAGA Christian nationalist supporters and the Trump administration ruling class.
I'm telling you, listen to what I'm telling you, man. At the top is men that represents heterosexual Christianity, and you don't even have to be a Christian, but if you give any acknowledgement to God or you acknowledge Jesus in any way, shape, or form, then you become the enemy. And that is at the very top. White men, heterosexual, acknowledge God. The second person under that, right, are white women that operate with a traditional mindset, that tend to be conservative, that support white men that are heterosexual and Christian. Everything else just starts to fall in place under that. If you are a man that represents anything with masculinity, you are now looking up to, and this is how people frame it, you're looking up to white men and you're subjecting yourself to their Christian nationalist mindset. It is an infection. It is an infection of the mind. Listen, first and foremost, I think that he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And the reason that is because you can't, first of all, you can't disrespect God, you can't disrespect Jesus, and you can't use your agenda to do so. But more importantly, you can't just go and burn a cross inside of a park where it's a possibility that the trees can catch on fire. You can't just do what you want to do. Whatever charges that they charge, that you can give him, I think that they need to give it to him. Him sitting on this bench, just having this conversation and thinking that it's cool without any kind of repercussions is the problem. It's the problem. The first thing that I would do is, let me go and check your visa status. Let me check your immigration status. I want to know if you were born here. Are you an actual citizen of the United States of America? And if you're not, we getting you on a plane back to wherever it is that you come from. The first thing that I'm going to look at, and you know what the worst part about this is? You know why this made news? Is because people thought it was tied to racism, and they thought it was a white person that was burning a cross in Chicago for a racist reason. The reason why this was a story in the first place is because people couldn't wait to protest white people that they were able to deem racist. Now that they found out it was an Asian, they're like, let's have a conversation on the park bench. You know what? Let's talk about this for a second. Why did you do it? What was going on? What was in your head? Tell me about it. How old are you? What did you sin before? Before they knew that it was an Asian 21-year-old that didn't have nothing better to do except for to express his Trump derangement syndrome, trying to get some attention, they thought that it was a racist white man that set this on fire, and they could not wait to try to find him and hold him accountable. They was going to find out where he lived. They was going to dox his job. They was going to go after his chick. They was going to try to embarrass his children. They were going to go after his grandparents. They were going to try to research him and try to hold him accountable. God. Now all of a sudden it's not that big of a deal. Ching Chong over there, he did it. That's not what we was looking for, champ. The people in Chicago was, God dog it. We got to continue to deal with the crime that's happening in our own neighborhoods. We couldn't even sit there and divert away from it. God, I can't believe this. Why do we have to then go back to deal with ourselves and hold ourselves accountable because of the 20 people that got shot last weekend? Pissing me off. I wish it was a white man. White people. Now they want to talk to him. So what was your thought process? Did you not know that this is something that represents evil historically inside of the United States of America? Are you not familiar with the history of this country? Oh, you know what? We're going to give you grace. We're going to give you grace. They had their Black Lives Matter signs printed out. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hey, dog, don't you got bills to pay? Don't you ain't got nothing better to do tomorrow? Then you just tell me that you was short $1,000 in an emergency situation? Wasn't you just delivering DoorDash to my place in your girl's name? You ain't got nothing better to do. You out here in the daytime during work hours? I don't think that people that are on government assistance should be able to protest. I don't think that people that are on government assistance should be able to protest. If you are a protester protesting, or if you are going to protest, you should only be able to protest on the weekends. That should be the time that you really should be putting in that overtime. If you are on government assistance, if we find out you're on government assistance and you've been at a protest during work hours, I think you should be kicked off of government assistance. How am I crazy? These are doing work hours. Us normal folk, even myself, I don't even have a job. I'm live streaming during normal work hours to help you guys get through your day with some form of entertainment. And at the same time, hopefully I'm putting the medicine inside of the candy. We all working. I'm in my office, you in your office. We all having a good time. We enjoying. Some of y'all got me inside of the earphones. The truckers is trucking. They got me on the big screen inside of the truck. The nurses is nursing. They got me in the headphones, supposed to be drawing blood. You know what I'm saying? The people that's inside of the church, they preparing it for Bible study tonight. The daycare workers, they so happy that I don't curse and I don't say all of the stuff that I used to say on the Millionaire Morning Show, because now they can have me up on the big screen. Oh my God, look at Anton. The kids in the daycare saying, Anton Daniels, hey, it's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. The stay-at-home moms, they got me up on the big screen and they making stuff and they can just keep it up and all of this stuff. We working. Us normal folk, we are the ones that have this country going round and round and in a circle. We are the ones that are taking care of business and doing what we supposed to do. We are making the world go round. And then I'll be looking outside or I'll be looking on TV and on the screen and I'll be saying, y'all, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. And I'll be thinking to myself, how you up here protesting in the daytime? How are you able to, objectively speaking, guys, come on, man, let's talk about it for a second. Objectively. How are you protesting during normal work hours? How is this a thing? Why are you outside? How old are you? 28. You ain't got no job? I'm seriously perplexed. People be saying, Anton, man, you should come to this event, come to this event. And I be thinking to myself, oh, I gotta work. Somebody hit me up yesterday and said, yo, you should come through and stop through the spot. This is the honest to God truth. You should come through and stop through the spot. Come and hang out with us. And I said, I ain't going to be able to make it. Why not? It get popping at 11 o'clock. I said, I got to do a live stream. I got to jump on the live stream. Oh, I feel you. All right, cool. All right, big dog, I see you. I put it in the group chat last week. I said, all right, guys, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday instead of Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Brittany about done jumped out of the phone. Ooh, Friday's off. Kimberly was like, okay, party time. Party. All of them was all excited. They said, okay, well, guess what? I guess we back in the money. Listen, let's get it. We be working. We be working. We don't miss. We don't do none of that stuff. We be on it. I wake up in the morning. I don't go to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning. I be waking up at 7:30. 3.5 hours of sleep. Can't come in here looking sleepy. Anton must be stressed. I wonder what's going on in his life. Well, nigga, I just got 3.5 hours of sleep and I'm back at it. And we work. We actually do. We work. We work our butt off. Right after this, I'm going to a meeting in a city where I'm building some houses. I got to meet with the people, all of this other stuff. We got to see what's going on, check on stuff, make sure the contractors is putting the grass down, all of this stuff. And y'all out here, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice. Where your job at? What you doing? What you doing? We all working. The president working. You working. I'm working. Floyd about to fly to Greece so he can try to make some money to get back this money to pay back this $200,000 so that it can drop this case. And you out there protesting with your broke self.
Scamming people. We're just scamming out of money, right? And I think that's a great reflection of how this country works right now, where money controls everything. Money has power over healthcare.
Bro, if you're not a third generation American, you don't get an opinion. I'm tired of these people having a conversation about what this country should be. I'm so tired of people that's not from here, that just got here. Bro, you ain't even old enough. I don't even think you should have an opinion unless you're 25 years old. Until your insurance drop, until you can get a better rate for your insurance, shut up. I don't want to hear from young people. I don't want to hear from anybody who's still paying high insurance rates. If you own your parents' health care coverage, shut up. If you live with your parents, shut up. You don't have an opinion. We don't want to hear from you. You shouldn't even be able to vote unless you got your own house. I think that vote should be based off of your own household. 1 vote per house. 1 vote per house. Everybody got all of these opinions talking about health care and all of it. Man, shut up. I want to hear what you got to say. You ain't paid enough money in taxes in your lifetime to be able to have an opinion. Shut up. Shut up. Tired of y'all. Look at him. Look at him. What do you think I want to hear what you got to say? You ain't been through enough. You ain't had enough hoes break your heart yet. You ain't been cheated on the way you needed to be cheated on yet. You ain't got garnished yet to where you seen your paycheck and you wasn't expecting it. And then you went to your bank account and they gave you that little letter and it's got 1 cent in it. And Chase be like, hey, hold on for a second. We holding your money. And you can see the amount that is supposed to be in there. And then you see the amount that's in there. And they took all of your money because you owe some money for student loans. You ain't got enough skin off your back yet in order for you to have an opinion on what goes on in this country. You ain't been through child support court yet. You ain't went to work and got laid off and didn't know what you was going to do. You ain't had to make multiple calls to the unemployment office so that you can say, hey, listen, representative, if you ain't made enough phone calls to where you got 1,000 representatives under your belt yet, listen, if you don't have 1,000 representatives under your belt yet, I want you to be talking to the prompt and saying, representative. Hey, y'all, be quiet. Representative. If you ain't got enough of them under your belt, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from nobody that still is eligible to be on their parents' health care coverage. At all. I want to know that you've been through a point in your life to where you was 2.5 months behind your car note. You knew your credit was suffering as a result of it, but you knew as long as you stayed within that 90-day period, that 3-month period, that they wasn't gonna take it. I don't want to hear from you unless you had to trade cars with your homegirl because the repo man was coming. I don't want to hear from you unless you had to get a cosigner because your credit wasn't good enough yet, because you're still recovering from the stuff that you made a mistake for in the past. I don't want to hear from you unless you went back to school not because you was actually trying to get educated, but you knew that was the only way that you can get your loans back in forbearance because it was kicking your butt to get garnished. I don't want to hear from you unless you was going to try to figure out how you can get the books from Chegg, or you was trying to get the book from the library because you knew that it was too expensive in order to buy the book yourself. I don't want to talk to you, bro. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you unless at some point in your life, You was up in the morning at 3, 4 a.m., 4:59, 5, 5:01, 5:02, 5:03 to make sure that your check hit in the morning. I don't want to hear from nobody that didn't pay a bill before they had the money coming out of their account, anticipating that the car note was going to come out the next day. So you paid the bill at 9 o'clock at night, 9 p.m., just in case they tried to take it out the same day. You paid it on time, but you paid it to where it can come out the next day. I don't want to talk to nobody that ain't called the bank and said, this is just my first time being overdrafted. Can I get released from this overdraft fee, please? I don't want to hear from nobody. If you can't relate to what I'm saying, shut up. If you can't relate to what I'm saying, shut up. Shut up. Don't talk to me about what you think this country is. You don't know what life is like. You just talking. You ain't been there. You ain't been there. I don't want to talk to nobody unless you know exactly what bill you going to pay and what day you take it out. Because see, some of us know that if you got a Ford, Chrysler, Lincoln, if you got a Ford take it out the next business morning. Ford don't wait. If you set your stuff to pay automatically, I don't want to talk to you unless you went back and you said, I don't want my stuff on auto pay because I'm not really sure the way that my checking and my savings is set up. Anybody that know Ford Motor Company, Ford know that if you set that junk on auto pay, they might even take it out that same night. What? I don't want to hear from nobody until you seen your account in the negative. Tell me if you've been through this. You woke up in the morning and your direct deposit didn't hit, but the withdrawals hit. So the withdrawals is in the thousands. But the direct deposit gonna cover it when it come in at 6:02 a.m. The direct deposit. Oh shit. No. Shoot. I thought the money was in there. You know you're supposed to get on Friday, but usually your direct deposit hit on Thursday. So you're going to pay the bill on Wednesday night. I still check my accounts just to make sure I'm still rich. I'd be like, that's PTSD. War is every day. War is outside and you got time to be carrying your cross. The war is outside every day. Every day. That's where the war is. We trying to figure out, okay, property taxes. Listen, if you have not at some point in your life called the finance company and said, listen, because you didn't want to admit that you was a little short on money, so you said, well, I want to put it, if you know that whether you leasing or you buying a car, that you can actually call the finance company and get if you behind 2 months, you can get it put on the back end so that you technically you caught up already. I don't want to talk to you, bro. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. Hey, listen, is it possible I can get it put on the back end? Can I change my payment due date? Okay. If you ain't been in a space to where you so delinquent that they don't allow you to pay it online, you got to call, I don't want to talk to you. Hey, representative. Hi, I'm looking at my account and I was trying to schedule a payment, but it won't let me do it online. Oh, yes, Mr. Daniels. That's because you're so delinquent that you have to call in and you have to take a payment. Okay. All right. And that's life. That's real life for real people. I'd be surprised that people be saying, Anton, you can't relate. What are you talking about? Nigga, I still wake up in cold sweats. Oh, shoot. All right, we good. I forgot. This ain't 08 no more. This ain't 08 no more. Yeah, they don't even let you log in. You keep on doing password reset, password. No, you got the right account. Oh, we've transferred your account over into the other department. Or what other department is that? Collections. We've transferred your account over to the collections department, Mr. Daniels. Collections? And you act like you don't know what they talking about, but you know exactly what collections. Why would they do that? I just made a payment the other day. It didn't go through. Oh, must have been the wrong account. No, you know what you was doing. You never made a You never made a payment. Be out there talking to the repo man. No, I'm current. No, I'm current. He know you ain't current. You know you ain't current. No, I paid it. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. Pimple face. Let me see what. Hold on. Let me go back to this. I know he ain't been through nothing. Look at this. He's still wearing hoop earrings like he Michael Jordan. Only Michael Jordan has permission to wear hoop earrings. You not Mike. You can't wear hoop earrings.
Money has power over transportation.
Chicago police and the FBI have been trying to
He
identify
walking
him
around
ever
with no
since,
shirt on. He don't even have a shirt on.
out this flyer with pictures of him running away, CPD labeling it an arson.
Are you surprised nobody's identified you to this point and,
A little bit.
called them?
A little bit, but to me that's not that important.
Right.
I don't really, to me this issue is bigger than just myself.
Did you make it all the way through almost 4 years at UIC without somebody teaching you that a burning cross is one of the most divisive symbols in America?
No, I didn't. I don't really have any I never grew up with religion. Never. Really surrounded myself with people with it. My childhood friends, I remember them going to confirmation and stuff like that. But
he knows.
But it's a symbol of the Ku Klux Klan. I mean, that really is where it started. Nobody ever taught you that.
No,
You never
no.
read it in a history book. Nobody.
No. I just saw the Wikipedia page.
What up,
with
Heather?
The movie with the I think it's called Under One Nation or something like that.
The Birth of a Nation is a famous 1915.
Yeah, he knew. He knew. We're not going for that Cheech and Chong. We're not going for that. I want to know what your immigration status is, and I want to know it right now. Right now, right this moment. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is the type of derailment that you get on the Millionaire Morning Show. Let me put down what's in this cup. Little Black Duck says, we still owe Q a big thank you for the suggestions she gave to Jeweled Alchemy. She helped us focus on elevating the customer experience. Salute. Shout out to Q. Mark Lamar in the building says, working in corporate HR and I want to pivot. I need a real bag. I'm in my 40s and I'm now realizing how programmed we are to just be workers because I don't know where to start outside of corporate. Send me an email at antondaniels413@gmail.com. I'm going to be doing coaching calls this weekend. I got to go to a graduation party on Saturday, but I'm going to be doing coaching calls this weekend. Arturo, what up, Arturo? Arturo says, 15 Antifa terrorists arrested in Minneapolis. I'm going to have to look into that. Send that to me, Arturo. Mrs. Staffpreneur says, plot to attack the UFC event at the White House. All right, I'll cover it. Yeah, I had that in the title. I was planning on talking about that. I'll talk about that next. These terrorists. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says CB90M's dog attack declared a mistrial. Sheesh. What's CB? Chris Brown? BTS burning crossing. Country Boy Finesse says, what's your thoughts on Slate Auto? What's Slate Auto? Tell me what Slate Auto is and I'll give you my thoughts. Kev, what up, Kev? Says, Anton, what do you think of JD Vance on The View yesterday? I thought Whoopi Goldberg made a fool of herself. Whoopi Goldberg, he was on The View. They let JD Vance on The View? Let me see. He sure was. Oh, you know, we gotta get this one. We gotta find out what was going on with JD. JD pulled up on The View yesterday. Why y'all ain't tell me? What y'all doing? This would have been a lead-off story. Y'all didn't tell me that JD was on The View yesterday. Why y'all ain't tell me that? Laid back is the purpose. She wanted like a star, yeah. Oh, she wanna view like a star, yeah. Oh, y'all didn't tell me that JD Vance was on The View. Y'all didn't tell me that. What is this? This is off of Jim Jones' new album called The Landlord. It's called In the Car. I love Jim Jones. I think that Jim Jones always come with a hit. Jim Jones is my guy. I don't care what nobody say. I know a lot of people try to act like Jim don't have a catalog. Jim be cooking. Jim keep hits on hits on hits. Thank you, Rhonda. Jim keep hits on hits on hits. And so I like Jim Jones. He got an ear. He just got an ear. He got an ear for dope music. And I like what he do. All right. So let me pivot. Before I get over to this UFC flight and stuff, I want to... There's a lot of pretty girls in the chat. So hold on. Before I get into this, because I got this Patreon meetup coming up. And so I'm about to actually I could probably tell y'all the date right now. Before I even put it in the Patreon, the details of it in the Patreon. The date for the Patreon meetup, I believe, is probably either going to be, I'm almost sure it's going to be on the 25th of July, if I'm not mistaken. I actually wanted to do it on the 18th, but I think it's going to be on the 25th of July. All right. So the Patreon meetup, the first one this year is going to be on the 25th of July. And then we're going to do one every 2 months after that. All right. So let me ask y'all a question before I get into this JD Vance conversation. Right. Because we got a lot of pretty chicks that's in the Bag Chasers. It's a lot of pretty women in the chat. And the reason that I know that they're pretty is because we meet them in real life. They come to the meetups. They come to the events. I run into them in real life. And I'll be like, dang, oh, you pretty for real in real life, right? For the new girls that is watching this show, and y'all got these pretty pictures and these profile photos, are y'all as pretty as y'all profile photos in real life? Because y'all coming in here cute, but I don't trust it because of AI. All we had to worry about before was filters, but now we got AI. But the chicks that was popping up, I was like, oh, y'all vibe for real in real life. Yo, you pretty. You smell good. Lay back at the certain. Y'all pretty in real life? All right, we gonna find out. We gonna find out. I can't wait to meet y'all. I see you, Robin. You said absolutely? All right. Okay. All right. All right. July. For Carrie Ferry said you look better. July. 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 You wanna do in the car, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. You wanna do it in the car, yeah. You say, you know who I am. Y'all know who I am. You see me every day. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to be a glorious month in July. July is going to be a glorious month. That's when our meetup is, April. That's when the meetup is. That's where we link up in person. And it be such good energy. The drinks is flowing. When am I coming back to California or Vegas? Where should I go, Heather? Should I go to California or Vegas? Where are you at? Where are you at, Heather? I'm going to go wherever you at. Said, come to Dallas. I love Dallas. I love Dallas. You smiling at me? You in Cali? She said she was in Vegas that other time. Was Jacksonville? I came to Jacksonville before. You come to Dallas? All right, I'll tell you what, Aaron. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do D.C. July, and we're going to come to Dallas in September, and then we're going to go out to the West Coast. I try to do the West Coast when it get a little bit colder. D.C. July, Dallas, Billy Ray, I was thinking the 25th, but some people are saying they like the 18th. I was thinking the 25th, but some people like the 18th. Some people acting like they can't make it. You need me in person? I'll be there. I'll be all right. We'll be there. All right, y'all. We got to get over to, you know me. I start getting boxolitis, and my boxolitis start flaring up, and then I start feeling some type of way. Back and forth between Cali and Vegas. All right, cool. I start flaring up, and then I start getting distracted. Next thing you know, it's 4 hours in. We got to get to J.D. Vance, unfortunately. J.D. Vance. Y'all want me to cover what LeBron's? That was an old video what LeBron said about the stay-at-home run. This is going viral now. I'll bring it up on After Hours tonight. Let's get into J.D. Vance. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
For 29 seasons, this show has invited thousands of guests with all kinds of diverse points of view. And we have been asking our next guest to join us for a while now. So we're glad that he's taken us up on the offer today. Please welcome author of the new book, Communion, Finding My Way Back to Faith, the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance.
They changed their studio? Why it look like that?
I was surprised at how tall you were. He's very tall.
Well, if you only see somebody on TV, you just see their, in my case, giant head. So
We all
it hides how
have
tall
giant
I am.
heads,
That's
yeah.
right.
We are the table of big heads here.
So this is a show of MAGA Republicans, right? That's
Yeah,
what my
right,
media
yes.
team told me? Okay, good.
Well, we'll find out. I think you have the first question, Alyssa.
Yes, Mr. Vice President, thank you for being with us. Now, you came into office with clear momentum, but when I talked to my
The fakest, the biggest rhino that we've ever seen in life. Melissa, ladies and gentlemen.
friends and family who supported you and the president and still support you and the president, one issue comes up time and time again, and it's the economy. Inflation's up, wages are down, gas prices are starting to drop at news of this Iran deal, which we will get to.
Sure.
What can you say to voters who trusted you to lower costs on day one, and will they be satisfied by November?
Well, I think that's ultimately up to the voters, right? I think voters have every right to expect as much as possible out of their elected representatives. We certainly know that we were elected on a number of mandates. One was to close the border, which I think we've done successfully, exceeded expectations there. Number two was to lower prices, and there's a lot of work to do, in large part because of what's happened over the last few months in the Middle East. But as you said, oil, which got up to $120 a barrel, now is at $80 a barrel. That's going to be reflected in lower fuel, lower food, lower energy prices. But there's a lot more work to do. The thing that I'm proudest about most, because as some of you may know, I grew up in one of these towns that was forgotten by the leaders in Washington of both parties, is that you're seeing, that's Middletown, Ohio. That's my hometown in southwestern Ohio. It was a proud steel town. I was raised by a grandfather who was a union steel worker, is that those jobs disappeared. Those factories closed down. The thing that I'm most excited about is you do see a large amount of capital investment coming into our country. Factories being built, construction jobs are way up, manufacturing jobs are starting to catch up. So there's a lot more work to do. I think that we're making progress, but ultimately we're going to make our pitch to the voters in November, and they're the ones who get to decide whether we've done a good job or not, and that's how they're going to vote.
Okay. So President Trump has called affordability a hoax.
Notice how when anybody else that's on this show comes up to this show that is a liberal, or they're an entertainer, or it's Joe Biden, or it's Kamala Harris, or anybody, after their answer, the audience usually go, when J.D. Vance, which J.D. Vance is used to being in these type of situations because he did so all during the election in 2024. When J.D. Vance speaks, it's whisper quiet. Whisper quiet. They don't even put up the applause signs. They don't put up the applause signals, because in all of these studios, they have applause signals. And the audience doesn't react until the producers tell them to applause. That's why you know it's all heavily produced. It is a produced show. When J.D. Vance is on here, they are not clapping. It is whisper silent. Whisper silent. Yet, if you go to The View, and if you actually go to their YouTube channel, this J.D. Vance interview that happened yesterday, this clip alone, this is just a clip. This ain't even the whole show itself. This clip alone from yesterday, uploaded late yesterday, has 500,000 views already. 500,000 views already.
He said that, not me. He's pouring money into this ballroom of his and the reflecting pool. Oh, don't forget the Arch de Trompe, I call it, and a White House cage match. All these things. Why is he doing them when you just, everybody knows that Americans are struggling? What is he spending all this money for?
Well, I got to defend the president on the hoax point. What the president said is the idea that Republicans caused the affordability problem is a hoax. And I think that's true. If you go back to the Biden administration, inflation got up to 9% under the Biden administration, okay? Right now it's at 3.5%. By the way, too high. We're doing everything that we can to bring it back down to 2.5%, which is where most people would like to see it. But we inherited an affordability problem. We're doing a lot to make it better. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot more work to do. But the president knows that a lot of Americans are struggling. In fact, he ran on that. He talked about it. And we've done some things and made some good progress on that point.
He just said he loves the inflation.
What he said, Anna, what he said is that he loves the fact that the inflation is going to come down when this war is over. That's what he said.
That's not what he said.
That wasn't a direct. Are you his interpreter or are you his vice president? Come on.
Well, look. What the president said. People were asking about the inflation. They were asking about the affordability problem, which again is very real. And what he said is, "I love the inflation because it's going to come down when the war is over." And now, again, we already see gas prices. Gas prices today, $4.06 a gallon, too high, but way down from where they were just a couple of weeks ago. So there's a lot, there's a lot we got to do, but I think that we're doing as much as we can. We're going to keep on working at it. And again, the American people are going to make their verdict, but I think that we have a very credible case to run on, that we brought a lot of new investment. We're building the factories. That is going to pay serious dividends for the American people over the long haul.
When?
Well, Joy, if you look at manufacturing jobs,
okay.
Those jobs are increasing at a large number. Construction jobs are doing a little bit better. So what happens is the construction jobs to build the factories, and then the manufacturing workers go back to work. That also leads to rising wages. That's one of the things that I'm very proud of, is if you look at the amount that wages are going up now compared to, say, 2022, they're going up way faster. That's a good thing. You know, the affordability problem. Again, gas, way too high right now. Certain things way too high. You know, rents have been either flat or down for 12 months now. So there are things that are showing signs of life, things that are showing signs of progress. My view, I'm sure you guys don't agree with it, is that we inherited a mess and we're fixing it. But sometimes it takes a long time to fix a mess.
Sonny.
Okay. Mr. Vice President, according to a new report from the New York Times, you were the leading voice behind the scenes to release the Epstein files, and we applaud you for that. And you warned top officials, including top DOJ officials, at strategy meetings taking place inside the Situation Room. We understand that there are tapes of those meetings, that this was a huge problem for the base. The report says you even floated having Tucker Carlson interview Ghislaine Maxwell to clear the president's name, but you were rebuffed by your people. Why?
Well, I'd say, first of all, don't believe everything that you read in any newspaper, whether it's a right-leaning paper or a left-leaning paper, because as you guys know, well, there are things that are true, things that are false, and things that are totally missing context. Well,
why don't they let them answer the question? I don't understand.
Here's what I'll say. So, number one, I am, frankly, kind of a conspiracy theory on the Epstein stuff. And that story says that that's one of the things that's true, is that some people called me a conspiracy theory on the Epstein stuff.
Called you a conspiracy
and I love Susie, but absolutely, she thinks I'm a conspiracy theorist on the Epstein stuff, because I think that it's crazy that you had this guy who is clearly a sex predator who is hanging out with a lot of very wealthy and powerful people. Like, that really bothered me. I don't know what's there, of course. Nobody knows exactly what happened unless you were there, but that really bothered me, and I wanted to have full transparency. What I disagree with is the idea that the White House wasn't committed to full transparency. We have to remember, like, I was inside the room when some of these decisions were made. The Epstein Files Transparency Act, the one that the president signed, the one that led to all these files that we're seeing, the emails. By the way, again, sorry, Joe, I do have to defend my boss. I know you guys don't always appreciate this, but, you know, one of the things you see in the Epstein emails is that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump, and that Donald Trump literally reported Jeffrey Epstein to the police. That's one of the things that came out of these files.
They were best friends for about a decade. And remember, he signed that Transparency Act under duress when some Republican women, congresswomen like Lauren Boebert, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, did not give in to his pressure of not signing. He brought Lauren Boebert into the Situation Room to pressure her into caving on not voting for that bill.
So let me respond to that. So
that's all true.
Let me respond to that. So number one is, yes, Donald Trump, and he said this, he knew Jeffrey Epstein back in the 1980s. He also threw Jeffrey Epstein out of his club when he found out he was a creep and reported him to the police. That's something that the media often misses when it reports this story. They tell the fact that they knew each other in the 80s, which the president himself admits. They ignore the fact that he narked on him to the police and led ultimately to JeffreyEpstein's downfall. To that point, Anna, you know the Republican Party. Well, it's one of the things that led to law enforcement investigation. But on the point that you made,
it was allegedly over a.
I never, ever, 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 ever hear them interrupt and stop somebody from speaking. And I don't care if they're there to promote a product. I don't care if it's a celebrity. I don't care if it's a left-leaning politician. They don't interrupt anybody. Anybody. I'm trying to take in the full interview so that I can then be able to make an informed decision based off of what he says on what my opinion is on his ability to communicate effectively on The View. And they keep interrupting and over-talking him, and they never do this to other guests. They never do this they did not do this to Kamala Harris. They don't do it to Biden. They never hold him accountable. And they won't even let J.D. Vance, who agreed to go into the lion's den, be able to communicate his thoughts clearly. And that's why they keep on interrupting him every single time. Every single time. That's why they let Melissa get her thoughts off first so that they can then go into mode.
Real estate deal that they got into a fight over.
But the email says actually
they didn't just know each other. Let's just be truthful and transparent here. They didn't just know each other.
He's in a lot of
They were
pictures.
incredibly close friends.
He reported him to the police. That's what I'm saying. That is objective. That is objectively true. But Anna made another point that I think Whoopi, if I may, because Anna made a very important point. This question about did Donald Trump release these files only under duress from Republicans? And Anna, you know the Republican Party probably better than I do. The idea that Donald Trump runs around afraid of Republican congressmen as opposed to the other way around is kind of crazy.
What was the bipartisan? It was Republicans and Democrats.
But because the Republicans control the House and the Senate, particularly the Senate, you need the Republican sign-off. What the president did is, look, I will say this. Again, I was in there in the meetings. He was very frustrated that the Democrats were making this about him when he's like, look, I threw the guy out of my club. I am the guy who reported him to the police, or one of the people who reported him to the police. The president was frustrated about that, absolutely. But he eventually came to say, you know what? Let's just get everything out there. Let's have this out in the public. And he actually called the senators. I was there. He called the senators and said, you know what? Pass this bill, I'll sign it, and that was it.
Well, then let me follow up briefly. Let me follow up briefly.
Yes.
It sounds like you believed that there would be men in the files who would be held accountable.
What?
Rightfully so. And the American...
When did he say that? Wait. I didn't hear J.D. Vance say anything about he believed that the men in the files, very powerful men, would be held accountable. When did he say that? He didn't say anything about that.
American people are with you on this. Why haven't we seen the release of over 2.5 million additional Epstein file documents? It seems like you are someone that is on the right side of history on this.
So we have released, I think it's 6 million files or 6 million pages of documents. My understanding is the 2.5 million, Sonny, I'm going to check on this to make sure, but my understanding is that a lot of those are duplicates of things that have already been released.
So
we're not holding
we're
not holding anything back. Some of those things are like the courts have to order you to release them. So that was one thing that we confronted. You talk about this situation in meetings is, you know, there was a big bunch of files that existed, I think in the Southern District of New York, or maybe it was some other jurisdiction, but we were like, we want to release these files, but you need the court approval in order to release the files. Sometimes we would apply to release the files and the courts would say no. So those particular documents, I would need to actually know exactly what you're talking about.
3.5 million documents were released, and my understanding is 2.5 million have not been released.
Those may have been the ones that are under court. So I don't know what the documents you're talking about, but I'm telling you,
Let me go to break.
Sure.
Let me go to break.
I wouldn't be able to deal with it, bro. And the reason why I can't deal with this type of thing or deal with these type of people is because what y'all have to understand is that when they go into these spaces, this is a reason why. The same sentiment of what's happening here is the same reason why I don't really do interviews anymore. I don't do debates anymore. People reach out to me every single day. Hey, Anton, you want to be on the show? Hey, Anton, you want to go on this debate? Hey, Anton, you want to do this? The first thing that I think to myself is, well, how does this benefit me and what do I get out of this? I don't need your visibility. It's not going to help me. I don't need to promote anything. I'm already up. And so what does this benefit me to go into enemy territory for no reason at all, right? Because J.D. Vance is going into enemy territory with no benefit, right? So when you take that into consideration and you start to look at it from that lens, now we have to think a little bit differently. Because in these situations, people are not looking to have a conversation. I told Slimmy this last night, right? And we were talking about something completely different. And I said it's a difference between a debate and a conversation. If somebody was to invite me onto their platform, and I'd have to vet the platform to make sure that they have motion, because I'm not going to just not do what I'm supposed to do in order to go on your platform, and you ain't got no motion, right? If you invite me onto your platform, I'm not coming there to debate. I'm coming there to have a conversation. And what a conversation is you have to be open to hearing me before you're looking to respond. These people are looking to attack and have a debate. They're not looking to have a conversation. That is the difference. That is the difference. When you look at the way that they're reacting, when you look at the way that they're interrupting, when you look at the way that they're trying to respond, they're not trying to listen to what he's saying. There is no answer. It doesn't matter if JD Vance is 100% right. There is zero answers that he can give that they will be satisfied with. And that's when you have to say, you know what? Doesn't really make sense. Because you're not going to change anybody's mind. You can't teach an old dog new tricks in most instances. And they're disrespectful because they don't give him the same grace and respect as they give somebody else. They're on there to get him on the show, to hopefully get him caught up, and to definitely get ratings. And then on the back end, they could say, well, we invite everybody onto the show. JD Vance came onto the show, and it can make it seem like they're being objective when giving their opinion about certain conversations, when in reality, none of the stuff that they're saying is even matter. None of the stuff that they're saying is even relevant to what's going on. If I have JD Vance on my platform, if I was to have JD Vance on my platform, do you know the type of questions that I would ask him? I would ask him questions about Cuba and what it takes to negotiate a better deal with Iran. And how did you go about getting Maduro? And what is the long-term ramifications or benefits of us partnering with Venezuela? And what's the plans for Cuba, right? How do we not see this as a humanitarian crisis to choke off Cuba because of their dictator that's holding them accountable? And how do you balance that, right? I would be asking them about the petrodollar. And if the war with Iran was more about our partnerships and us maintaining dominance with the petrodollar than it is about nuclear weapons. Like, if you are going to get a person that has this type of visibility in you to ops, because I'll tell you, it's much more difficult to interview somebody that you're cool with because you have to kind of preface the conversation. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like having friends with people. It's difficult to be friends with people because you can't ask them the questions that you want to ask them, because you, in a way, have to protect them against themselves because you don't want them to look bad. But if you are op, if you a person that don't necessarily care for the person, let's get to it. Let's find out what's really happening. I want to ask you the meaningful questions because I don't have to censor myself. I can actually ask you things that are actually going to benefit us or that people will really know. Right? Not asking these same old tired questions that we already seen in the press. All JD Vance was doing at this point was rehashing what he has already communicated on other platforms that they already knew the answer to. That they already knew the answer to. Somebody has a good question, and I answer this question all the time, but I'm going to answer it for you too. Trey Dog says you can ask those questions, but would you push back on inaccurate information? No. Absolutely, positively not. Anton, why do you not push back on inaccurate information? Because first of all, I don't know if what I'm saying is inaccurate. My goal is to get as much information out of them as possible. And then I'm going to let the people in the audience and those that are reacting, you can go and fact check afterwards. I want to get as much information as with you as possible. I want you to open up and give me your thoughts. Let's say for the sake of conversation, I'm interviewing a person and they're lying to me. You don't think that the people are going to come back and say, oh man, he was lying about this, A, B, C, and D. My goal is to get you comfortable and to get you talking. My goal is not to try to correct you based off of what I think, because it's not a debate. It is a conversation. It is an interview. I'm interviewing you and I'm going to ask you the questions. You are the person that's going to determine whether or not you want to answer truthfully or not. And then the people that watch it subsequently can come back and fact check it, or they can figure it out, or even I can come back and say, you know what, I looked up and I researched that and afterwards, and this don't make sense. When I have you on as a guest, my goal is to keep you talking and to ask you meaningful, purposeful questions, not to try to figure out whether or not you're telling the truth or to try to correct you. You mess up the interview. You mess up their energy. You get them they start being closed, because I know how I would feel. If somebody was trying to correct me on what I was saying, on what I know, and they don't even know, man, I'm not debating you, miss. Who is you? Now, I'm just there to buy my time. Because now, like, who is this nigga? Who is you? I'm doing you a favor by even being here. Somebody said, how do you do that without it being a cupcake interview? By asking meaningful questions. By asking meaningful questions. There is no cupcake interviews if you don't know how to interview. If you ask meaningful questions, your goal is to lead them through and to guide them through by continuing. I am very good friends with Brian McKnight. I posed the questions to him that everybody wanted to know, and then I gave him the floor and the autonomy to be able to answer the questions in full. Now, guess what the people did? They went back and they looked at the interview and they went and they chopped it up and they went and deep dove into it, and they said, oh, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with this, and I don't agree with that. Wasn't nothing cupcake about that interview. All of those questions was meaningful. All of it was what the questions that people wanted to know. All of it is things that he had never spoken on before. And I led him through the interview by asking him questions that ultimately led up to more questions that was more meaningful that I didn't even know that I needed to ask until he started talking about it. It's a you problem. If you can't get the information out, what you do with the information afterwards is irrelevant. But if you can't get the information out, it's a meaningless interview. And you would think that these hyenas that's on The View would know this. Think about what you're saying, right? When you say, how can you not correct them? How are you going to correct a vice president that you weren't in the room to be able to actually hear? If somebody from the New York Times writes an article and say, hey, this is what was happening, and then J.D. Vance comes on and says, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. This was happening. This was happening. How can you correct him and you wasn't there? You're going directly to the source. He's giving you the information willingly. Why would you try to correct somebody when you don't have any form to correct him with? You don't know. You don't know. You can't correct somebody and you don't know. If he tell me A, B, C, and D, and he was the person that was in the room with the president, who am I to correct him? And I don't care if you're liberal, I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican. If I'm talking to Kamala Harris, right? If I'm talking to Kamala Harris and I say, hey, listen, so what was happening when you got the news that you had lost the election? What went on in that back room? And she says, A, B, C, and D. And I said, no, I don't think that's what happened. Who the heck am I to say that's not what happened? I wasn't there. I'm asking you the question because I don't know. Otherwise, what's the point of me interviewing you? I might as well just tell you what I think and then just let you sit there. Now, I can go back afterwards and say, I don't know if she was telling the truth about that or whatever, but it doesn't matter. My goal during the interview is to get the information, You know, one of the things that people used to hate Nori for on Drink Champs is him always interrupting and inserting himself into the conversation. People used to hate when Nori did that on Drink Champs. And then he would stop and say, hold on, hold on, let's give a round of applause for that. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Because I remember. And people were like, hey, man, hold on. I didn't come here for you, Nori. I came here for Ye or The Game or Big Sean or whoever was on the platform that was giving an interview. They came there to hear them tell the story. They didn't come there to hear you interrupt and insert yourself about what you think happened. Just let them tell the story. Ask the question and then come up with another meaningful question after that may be off script from the list of questions that you already had. I'm not going to teach y'all how to interview now. I'm not going to teach y'all how to interview. Y'all going to have to figure this out yourself because this is what I had to learn in the field. They still interrupting? He said him and EFN is still interrupting to this day. I don't get it. I don't see why JD Vance did this. I don't even see why JD Vance jumped on this platform. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Before I read the super chats, what else did y'all want me to cover? Oh, we got to cover the UFC event. All right, let me read some of these super chat. Kev, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Rush King in the building says these people will always say all this and that stuff should be free. But when you ask them if they would work for free, they will say no. Time equals money. That's a fact. Courtney Yeager Show says if you haven't been minus 400, don't talk to me. Facts. Minus 1,000. Arturo says protesters sprayed with chemical outside the St. Paul courthouse. From KSTP5 News, it is about the 15 Antifa terrorists being arrested. The protesters getting pepper sprayed. All right, let me save that super chat. I'm going to come back to that. Latrell says he's an op in my opinion. Keep an eye on him. He's a op. Keep an eye on him. Chad from Morris says, AD, you got me dying laughing at work so much that it caused a coworker to come and check on me. Well, that's the goal. I want y'all to enjoy waking up and kicking it with your boy. I sent you an email on Friday about the building money. All right, let me check it. I'm going to go back and check it. Thank you, Arturo. I'm going to check that too. Manny Plays PC says, I would blast music through Spotify when drywalling. I remember one time my music stopped playing. I realized it stopped playing because my phone service got shut off. I was down bad. Hey, hold on. Going back to get rid of Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal and going back to what was the one? It was like Pandora. Yeah. Shout out to Pandora. Pandora Music Radio was free. And so you had to go back to Pandora when your Apple Music and your Spotify billing. You overdo on your billing, so now you got to go and get your Pandora back on. Yep. A lot of y'all now don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about going ahead and signing up for Pandora because you still need music. And so you're going to connect to the Wi-Fi. That Pandora life is in there. Illusionist says, sent you an email about the coaching. All right, cool. That Jim album is fire. Fab Snap. I love that Jim album. See, if it's not the most popular stuff, then most people don't want to give it credit. Jim is fire. Jim's music be fire. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says Slim said Luda isn't lyrical. I don't know what Slim is on with that Luda conversation. Crimson says, yes, Lord. Okay. Spam. Hello?
Kylie Kensington with Personal Lending calling regarding your loan request. Hi, this is Kylie Kensington. I was reviewing your file today, and there was something that caught my attention. Based on the information available to me, you are qualified for up to $36,000 at 5.99%, with payments around $580 per month or about $290 biweekly. Dial 1 now or call me at 310-1184. The reason I'm calling is that we work with multiple lenders, which may give you access to better terms than what you've seen before. There's no cost to review your options and no obligation if it doesn't make sense for you. Dial 1 now or call me at 888-310-1184. Press 9 to opt out of future follow-ups.
You've been placed on our do not call list.
I get so much. I don't know who used to own this number. Look at this. I don't know who owned this number, but I can't do enough blocking. Yeah, my phone is tore up because I use it. This is an iPhone 17 Pro. Both of them are, look. I take pride in my phones being beat up. See all of that? See all of the beat up? So I'm a worker. I work, baby. I actually be getting to it. What up, Crimson? I appreciate you. Yeah, my junk is I don't know, man. I be getting all of these stupid spam calls on a regular basis, and I don't know where they're coming from. I can't block them fast enough. Most modern women hide behind face filters and makeup. You have to see them in the sunlight. Trey Day in the building says, did you cover what LeBron James said about the stay-at-home woman? That's an old podcast that he had did with his on his girls platform. No, I'm not having no cases. I don't believe in having cases. Somebody said you just showed all of the people's numbers. Yeah, that's all of the spam numbers. That ain't ain't none of them numbers, nothing that you can call them numbers if you want to. You're going to get added to that list. Go ahead and call them. That's all of them spam numbers. Shout out to Trey Day. I mean, I'll bring it up on After Hours if the people want to talk about it tonight. Just a Brown Girl in America says, are we really going in July? I need to try and get approved to get in the White House. Plus my B-Day is in August. Yeah, we going in July. All right, let me ask y'all a question since we in here right now. And we got over 2,000 people popping. 25th or the 18th? I like the 25th better because I think that the 25th gives people more time to be able to get a better ticket price and travel if you're coming from out of town. 25th or the 18th of July. I say 25th. See, 1 18th, one is on the 25th, 2 on the 25th. 25th, 25th, separating spot, 25th. Let me see, 25th. Yeah, we be fresh. We fresh when we step out the door, big dog. 25th is cool. All right, we going to roll in the 25th. No, Leo girl, we going to DC. All right. So we'll be in DC on the 25th. It is what it is. It is what it is. 25th in DC. That's what we doing, a meetup. All right, Lady Kai. Meet up 25th in DC. No Dusties. No Dusties whatsoever. That's not what we not doing. No dustiness. There you go, just a brown girl in America. You got it, baby girl. Eric TV says, did you hear about the 1-year-old baby, black baby that got shot by cops in the parking lot of the Walmart store in Mississippi? Yes, we covered it earlier today. Arturo React says, please cover the video the protesters sprayed by chemical outside of the St. Paul courthouse. Yep. Oh yeah, I got you on that one. Mr. Lott in the building says, fellas, go to the meetup. Trust me. Shout out to Mr. Lott. Hot Don John in the building says, I get those calls 10 times a day for the last 7 years. How do you stop them? How do we opt out? Chris Cunningham says, are we doing one in Dallas? I'm trying to see my booze. Yeah, we're going to do one in Dallas in September. Dallas is going to be in September. Only because y'all asked. Only because y'all asked. Dallas is in September, all right? Look, I got Timu. Timu DMing me 20 times a day, 7 days a week. Anton, we want to follow up because we want to do a sponsorship with you. Timu. What we covering next? Let me see what y'all talking about. AD, black people not feeling Jay-Z with the Target partnership. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Jay-Z and Target. I kind of want to talk about terror plot. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was going to be a man that looked like this.
This morning, we are learning more. The FBI for.
All right, I got you. Hold on. New details about the plot targeting the White House. All right, hold on. Let me get this up. Yeah. They want to do it. I've been listening to that song all yesterday. Yeah. Let me see. I love me a good old down bad, I'm sick of pissed at America type of person that's going to come in and I want to get mad and try to mess it up for everybody type dude.
This morning, the FBI says.
I love these type of guys. Nothing like a down bad. I love it down bad. Y'all will see what I'm talking about in a second. UFC. What else are we covering? Let's see. We got the Antifa. Y'all said something about Jay-Z. Oh, Jay-Z and Target. All right. Jay-Z and Target, Antifa, all of that type of stuff. Texas flirting in the chat too. Oh man, y'all up here flirting already. Y'all ain't even got to the meetup yet. We got to get to the meetup before y'all start flirting. No? No?
This morning, the FBI says 5 suspects are under arrest, accused of intending to use sniper rifles and drones carrying explosives to kill politicians and wealthy VIPs at Sunday's UFC event at the White House.
It was an active plot, and it's ongoing.
The thwarted conspiracy led to the arrests of 5 people from California, Nebraska, Missouri, and Ohio.
Let's profile. All right. We got Ryan Roa from California, Michael Thomas, Abraham Alvarez, Daniel Eskridge, and Tyson Proper. Now they saying that Tyson Proper over in Franklin County Jail was one of the first people that they identified and that they caught. Let's put this in perspective, all right? When we think of a teen takeover, it's them again. When we think of a terror plot to take out people at a UFC 250 Trump's birthday at the White House, it only can be people that look like this that are crazy enough to try to pull something out like this. That's it. Let me tell you the difference between white people, black people, and others, okay? Because I profile. And so they don't ever, whenever you see the reaction videos where people will say, oh my God, I can't believe Anton are holding black people accountable. They never do these videos too, because they don't want to say that Anton is an equal accountability smoke giver, right? But we got to profile effectively. And if we're going to profile effectively, let's talk about it. When we do crimes in black culture, when we do crimes in black culture, we do crimes a lot of times that seem like a smart idea. It may even be fun for the moment, but we gonna live to regret it afterwards. So it's not smart, it's not wise. It just seemed like we was gonna get away with it at the time. When I see crimes like this, oh man, we're gonna use drones to drop explosives at a high-profile event at the White House. And we're going to use snipers to go and take out VIPs at Trump's birthday party. When I see stuff like this, I think to myself, none of these people have an interest in living past tomorrow. All of them have given up on life. When black people do crimes a lot of times, even if it's a dire crime, even if it's bad, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but we give ourselves an out like, well, you know, so what? All right, I get arrested. I'll be out tomorrow. I'm going to be able to get bond. My mama going to come and get me. Grandma, maybe she'll put up her house. Or you know what? I ain't tripping about it. I'll be out in a little bit. When these people do these type of crimes, you have to think to yourself like, oh, they just gave up on life. You gave up on life. Hey, man. Hey, listen. I don't even want to say the word terror. Because I don't even want my phone to trigger some kind of FBI surveillance, secret surveillance that is built into my phone or my device. I don't even like that type of word. I don't even like to use 3-letter words. I don't like to use 3-letter abbreviations. IR. I don't even like saying the S. The S. IR. AT. What? FB. I don't even like the 3rd letter because it's almost like it's going to trigger something. I don't want them, and I don't even want them looking into nothing that I got going on. We cool over here. We good. We in Detroit. We ain't nowhere near where you got going on. We chilling. When I see this type of stuff play out, I think to myself, death wish. Death wish. Oh, they gave up on life. They looking to die, and they looking for a final out, a final grand finale that'll lead them to the end of their times. That's the difference between crimes. When you see white people do crime, they do crimes of forever. Black people do crimes of selfishness. White people and others do crime against humanity. They do crimes against humanity. You're not going to see a black person, you're never going to see a black person strap a bomb to theirself and try to blow up everything. I mean, they don't even do that in the movies. They know that's not, oh, that ain't realistic. What are you doing? What do you mean? Even when we threaten our girl, right? When we think that she doing something that she not supposed to do and we crashing out. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Okay. We bluffing. We love ourselves too much to ever do that. We just saying that to you because we want you to understand how dire this situation is. How could you do this to me? I'm gonna kill myself. Why would you want to do this? I'm gonna kill myself. I can't take it. She don't even halfway take you serious. You just crashing out, babe. Oh. She want to laugh, but she don't want to laugh in front of your face because she want to make it seem like she taking you serious. You know what? I thought about taking myself out today. Because we're looking to garner some kind of sympathy. What? Babe, don't talk like that. That's what we're looking for. Don't talk like that, babe. I don't like it when you do that. Do I need to come over there now? Nah. Nah. Nah, I just want to be alone. I gotta go. What do you mean you gotta go? Don't hang up. I gotta go. I gotta go. I got some stuff on my mind. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Let the phone ring 2 or 3 more times. What? Cause man, you know, I feel like my life is over. It's ruined. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? We not serious. We not serious. We just playing, but we just serious, and we playing about our seriousness while we playing with you. It's hard. And we need you to know how much we care. That's how we show we care. We don't show we care by doing stuff for you and being nice to you. We show you that we care by showing you how dire life is when it's bad. I don't know what to do. And we don't want to say, yeah, we got a gun and it's not loaded. So we'll be on the phone and we'll make some noises, right? We'll do some stuff like this. What's that? Nothing. Don't tell me that's what I think it is. Is that what I think it is? Answer me. You don't care anyway, so what does it matter to you? You don't care. You don't even care like that. So why you even answering, acting like you concerned right now? That ain't stop you from doing what you was gonna do. Huh? And what is that? Stop it right now. You know, I used to think I couldn't live without you. I don't think I can live with me. But when these people say it, when Abraham Alvarez and Daniel Eskridge from Missouri and Tyson Proper say it, oh, you better believe it. Oh, you better believe it. Oh, you better believe it. When they say, you know what, we done, that means that they going to the White House. When Michael Thomas and Brian Roja is on their way to the White House and they went and bought some drones, oh, you better believe it. They serious about it. We don't want to die We just don't want to live without you for the moment. These people are done with life. All right? They're done with life. It's it for them. But here's the key, fellas, before we get into the rest of this video. If you're going to play the I'm crazy, I'm thinking about taking myself out role when it comes to women, you can't do it. You can only do it like once every 2 years because they're going to start not taking you serious. Max, like, I suggest you not do it, but if you're going to do it, don't do it like regularly. Like, you got to really be in a situation where you want to make her feel bad. So if you want to make her feel bad or you want to make her really sympathetic to you or whatever, you gotta pick and choose your battles. Don't do it too early because she may not care. Y'all might not be that tied in together. But if y'all really connected and y'all tied in, you got one shot. You got one shot to have her take you serious when it comes to that type of proposition. Don't do it all the time. And then you may have to do it like 3 years later to remind her, listen, I'm crazy. But don't do it like just on some random types. Oh, I'm going to take myself. Nah, she's not going to trip about that. She's just going to be like, that boy crazy or whatever. But y'all got to really be locked in. And you got to lead up to it differently, right? You got to it's got to be overly dramatic in the beginning, and then when she go home and then you just making those noises. Then you start to hit her with it. But it's got to be a lead up to it. It can't be, oh man, he just crazy or whatever. It's got to be a dramatic situation that happened the day before, and then you hit her with it. Once every 2 years minimum, once every 3 years is ideal. Okay? Don't hit her with the, oh man, I'm about to take myself out type of time. No, you can't do that. That's when you really don't want her to go somewhere or you don't want her to do something. Or you going to say, no, go ahead. But you want her to feel bad the entire time that she there. Okay? All right? Don't. And then, you got to be able to like commit to some other stuff. It's got to be a chair that you're willing to destroy, that she thought was meaningful to you. You got to be able to throw your phone, make sure you got your Apple Care so you can go and get it fixed. But you got to throw your phone, but you can't throw it like you care about the phone, like you're worried about it get it cracked. You got to actually toss that phone. Wow. I don't care. I'm sick of this, man. Every time. Man, you know what? I don't even want to talk about this no more. I'm gone. Enough of this, bro. No. I'm out. You got it. No, you got it. And then when she asks you a question the next week, even after y'all make up, you just say stuff like, she gonna say, no, I want to know what your opinion is. No, you do what you feel is best. You got it. No, because when I was trying to give you some game the last time, I had to catch flack for it. You know what? I can't do this. Have I not done enough? I don't know what else it is you want from me. Have I not done enough? Listen, fellas. Fridays on After Hours on the Room 9 channel is going to be epic. I'm going to show you how to control your girl. Listen to what I'm saying. We're going to get back to the show. Fridays, I'm going to teach you every trick that I know on how to have a... on how to have a successful relationship. I'm going to show you the ins. I'm going to show you the outs. By the time that she gets done being in a relationship with you, she's going to go back to God. Ain't going to be nowhere else for her to go but to go to God. I'm going to teach you the ways of the samurai. I'm gonna pull out my bag. I'm going to pull out every trick that I know, and I'm going to teach it to you. And it's going to be the greatest lesson that you ever had, the greatest series of lessons that you've ever had in your entire life. I'm going to show you every tactic. I'm going to show you every toxic trait that you need to embrace, the ones that you need to get rid of. I'm going to show you the ones that actually work and the ones that she's seen before. Because there's some that she's seen before that you don't think that she's seen it. This is elite level game, okay? I need you to lock in. I need you to dedicate yourself to what is about to happen on Fridays. It is going to be the lessons that 44 years of game is going to be in one series on Friday nights. And I promise you, it is going to be the best information that you ever had in your entire life. I promise you. It is going to be Yoda. I'm going to turn you from a young Padawan to a Jedi Master. When she get done with you, she's not going to see nobody else. I promise you. Okay? All right? When you get done in this situation, there's going to be nothing that she could ever do to detach herself from you. All right, let's get back to the show. I can't give it to you here. I got to give it to you there.
The alleged plot.
Will this benefit women? For the women that watch, yes. You will be able to identify every trait, and you'll be able to combat it and hit it with a reverse Uno card. Yes, this will be able to help you. However, if done effectively, you should not be able to overcome it because you won't understand what's happening until it's all over. Okay?
Unraveled when the mother of Ohio 19-year-old Tyson Proper contacted police just 4 days before the UFC event, worried about her son's recent conduct, including firearms purchases and communicating with certain individuals online who expressed ultra-religious and anti-government sentiments. Investigators say they seized this weapon and tactical gear from the home. Proper's father allegedly telling authorities his son had used approximately $3,000 of his graduation money to acquire a new shotgun, a rifle, and ammunition. A social media account tied to Proper allegedly shared anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. The teen allegedly revealing members of this group were primarily recruited through TikTok and that they believed the United States needed to be torn down.
Let me rewind that part real quick. I just want to make sure I heard what I thought I heard. Give me a second.
Allegedly revealing members of this group were primarily recruited through TikTok, and that
you know the type of loser you got to be to go and recruit your terrorist group through TikTok. Do you know how stupid you have to be to actually be messaging somebody and going back and forth with people that are probably already on the FBI watch list based off of stuff they said on TikTok, and you decide that you want to befriend them? And now all 5 or 6 of y'all come together and y'all all just so happen to be in Washington at the same time at the UFC 250. Do you know how down bad that you have to be to go and connect with people on TikTok to put together a terrorist plot? Jesus, Lord have mercy. Man, me and Slimmy could have caught y'all. Me and Slimmy could have caught y'all. Hey, man, look who he following. All I got to do is go to your follower list. Yep, terrorist. Loser, about to become a terrorist. Prospect terrorist. You know that, bro. Oh, man. You know the type of sucker you gotta be to recruit your crew from TikTok, bro? Oh my God. These dudes are such losers. He looked like a person that recruited on TikTok too. This is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life, bro.
They believed the United States needed to be torn down so that it could be rebuilt. Investigators say they discovered a signal group on Proper's cell phone called Hunters, containing detailed instructions for carrying out the attack, including plans to safely escape. These screenshots discussing a drone launch point and sniper's nest. Authorities say the investigation is ongoing with as many as 23 people involved. And with the World Cup now.
And this is why you got to be careful who you friends with, because you'll end up in a group chat and being investigated and getting arrested for something that was completely not even related to what they got going on. But because you was friends with them, now you the person that's under investigated too. This is why you have to watch your friend group, because you'll be in a group chat with a dude that you ain't supposed to be in a group chat with. Next thing you know, you getting arrested for the UFC 250 terror plot and you don't know what's going on. And ain't nobody gonna believe you because you're friends with the losers. This is why I don't hang out with losers. This is why when I see people with no profile picture and they be jerking off inside of their socks, I avoid them like the plague, because they doing loser behavior. They doing loser things. And eventually losers get arrested, they get thrown under the jail, and they do dumb stuff. They come up with bad ideas. They're never smart. They never make money. They never result in getting boxed. They run the women away. They run the woman away. They run all of the opportunity away, and then they hang out with other losers. This is why I don't hang out with losers. This is why I'm not friends with less thans. It's because they do less than stuff and they come up with bad ideas that ultimately lead them to get arrested, and you'll get jammed up just by being don't be friends with losers. This is the whole point of this part of the show. No losers in your circles. No losers in your circles. Avoid them like the plague. They usually got something nasty going on. They got kiddie porn. They terrorists. They trade pictures of women that's inebriated that they had sex with, that they never should have been in. They never should have had sex with in the first place because the woman would have never gave them the time of day. They do dumb stuff. I'm telling you, bro. Losers lose. They figure out a way to mess up. They figure out a way to get an F in class. They figure out a way to get kicked out. They figure out a way to lose their car. They figure out a way to run away to women. You know them. You be in a spot and they do dumb stuff. They give the loser signal. It's like the bat signal. And it's like, Hey, you see him over there? Everybody in the party know he the loser. But nobody wants to say it because they want to be politically correct. Everybody know he crashed out, dummy. The women know the dudes that come in and it's about to mess up the party and it's about to fight. You see them all the time. You see them all the time. They be in a party, they get angry, they got a low tolerance for women, a low tolerance for you being able to do stuff. And usually it comes with an insult the minute that you do something that they don't like or you reject them. Hey, what's going on, young love? Oh, I'm okay. No, thank you. F and B. That's why your dress too short. It's like, yep. That's why she didn't give you the time of day. Because she knew that your insult was going to be worse than your compliment.
Underway, officials say anti-drone technology is in place to detect any visible threats at all 11 U.S. venues hosting the tournament's 78 matches. The FAA is enforcing zero-tolerance, no-fly zones, warning violators might immediately face confiscation and heavy fines. The FBI already seizing at least 35 drones near World Cup venues.
This morning, we are learning more about one of the suspects in custody.
You can't see this guy and say, yup, loser. Hates his job, hates his high school, hates the women that rejected him in high school, even though he's 29, 30. He's 29 going on 56 with his looks, but he's still 29 years old. Lived a rough life. Mom pissed him off. Dad never accepted him. That's him. This is him. Loserville.
They're planning an attack On UFC Fight Night at the White House, 19-year-old Tyson Proper is now facing federal charges after the FBI uncovered the alleged terror plot. NewsNation Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt is live from the White House. So, Hannah,
if you're friends with this guy, there's nothing good that can happen. There's nothing that he can say to you that you would say, yep, let's go do that. You want to go act strong with this guy? You want to go hunting with him? You don't think that he's going to leave you in the woods? It's a possibility? Huh? You want to go hang out with him? Want to go to his secret lair? Want to go play Dungeons and Dragons with him? Want to go visit his house? No. No. There's nothing that this guy can tell you that you will say, you know what? I think we should be friends. We need to go and hang out. Nothing that this guy got going on is ever going to come good. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. We can spot losers a mile away.
Terror plot. NewsNation Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt is live from the White House. So,
I said
Hannah,
19.
What more are you learning about the suspect? Also, the charges he's now facing.
No, he can't
Kelly,
be
I was just
19.
going
Hold
through
on. That's not a 19-year-old. That's bullcrap. What's his name? Well, he might have been 19 because he was on TikTok. Tyson Proper. He not 19. Ain't no way in the world this dude is 19. I'll just be talking. He's really 19. Oh my God. No way. No way. Heck no. No way that this dude is 19 years old. Jesus, Lord have mercy. No way. He is really 19 years old. What in the world is going on? Dog, at 19, I had a full head of hair. Y'all done seen the picture? At 19, we was trying to figure it out. 19, we was out here with the shirts off, getting tattoos with old schools, trying to find out where the box is. He looked every bit of 42, 48, 51. Ain't no 19-year-old? What in the world? It's a 19 in dog years. 19? Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of jerking off. That's a lot of TV. That's a lot of, bro, at 19, you don't even have to worry about your metabolism. You just burn. At 19, you built for no reason. You built just because you just play basketball all day. At 19, it don't even matter if you lift weights. You're just fit. You're not even supposed to be dealing with whether or not, oh my God, what are you balding over? At 19, you're like Wolverine. You're X-Man. You're X-Man at 19 because you just heal for no reason. Anything you do, whatever, the next day when you wake up, it's gonna be okay. You don't even gotta go to the doctor at 19. At 19, whatever injury you have will heal in the morning unless it's a broken bone. What are y'all drinking? What are y'all eating? What kind of chicken are you taking in? Good God. 19? He said he looks older than you and you're 52.
19-year-old Tyson Proper is now facing federal charges after the FBI
At 19, you still play ball on the concrete. You don't even realize the repercussions of hooping on concrete. You can stop on a dime. You can do all of that.
Covered the alleged terror plot. NewsNation Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt is live from the White House. So, Hannah, what more are you learning about the suspect? Also, the charge.
Y'all said he lived near a power plant. Ah! Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. Talk about he lives near a power plant.
He's now facing.
Well, Kelly, I was just going through those court records that were just made public about this alleged terror plot. And it
19?
states that 19-year-old Ohio man, Tyson Proper, was part of this apparent plot to launch an attack at the UFC fights that happened here at the White House over
That's
the weekend.
crazy.
Those new charges filed against Proper include charges of conspiracy to commit an offense against the United States, attempted murder of an officer or employee of the U.S., and 2 different firearm charges. There's a lot of info packed into this court filing, which says 4 days before these UFC fights, local officers got a call from Proper's mother. She told them apparently she was concerned about her son's online activity and chats. Along with his recent firearm purchases, his parents saying he spent thousands of dollars in graduation money collecting these firearms. And in a search, FBI investigators then apparently discovered some large boxes of ammo and tactical gear at his home. They also discovered these signal chats on Proper's phone that they say laid out detailed plans to conduct this attack in Washington, D.C., including maps of the area and detailed planning, they say. And then they went to interview Proper, who the investigators, these FBI investigators and local investigators, say was at a medical facility at this point. And they say he admitted to them these plans to attack the U.S. government during the UFC fight with a group they say Proper identified as Vanguard of the Old. That's the name he said. And they apparently believe the United States is headed in the wrong direction, with members of this group apparently expressing that people involved.
He not saying nothing no different than that Asian kid was saying. The Asian kid and him have the same sentiment. This is why I said, listen, bro, listen. If you upset with the world, if you upset with life at 19, 20, 21 years old, just chill out, bro. Honestly, real talk. If you're upset with life at this age, now I get it. I mean, you know, in this situation, it looks a little extreme. This nigga's balding. He ain't got no colics. He ain't got none of this right here. Bro, I can grow a better hair to hair than him right now. If at 19 you upset with the government, just chill out, bro. Just go and get some box. You shouldn't even be concerning yourself with this type of stuff at 19. You should be focusing on running full court. You know what I'm saying? Going to cheap concerts, drinking cheap beer, and trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life. It ain't nowhere in the world that you should be so concerned about what's going on with the government. Man, bro, I remember at 19 years old, at 18, I was on campus, UAD Mercy campus, and I think that Al Gore had lost to Bush. Al Gore had lost to Bush. And I went down to the student union because it was downstairs in the basement, and I seen it on the TV, and I had my book bag on, and I was on my way. I think I had just got off from like, my student job, because I was working in the library next door in the student job, my work study job. And I looked on the TV and I seen that Al Gore had lost to Bush, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, oh, well, went over to the pool table, started talking to the girls. We started figuring out what was popping that night, and we had a party. We didn't care. We genuinely didn't care. We genuinely didn't care. I looked at the TV because it had the big screen TVs. It wasn't the flat ones. It was just like a big screen. And it was like, yeah, Gore loses to Bush or whatever was happening. And we was like, who cares? And we went and we started shooting pool, and we was trying to figure out when we was going to go and get fresh because we had a party to go to. Man, I didn't care nothing about what was going on. Wasn't even tripping about it. Was like, all right, well, where the hoes at? My homeboy was like, hey, man, you see this new website? I said, what's the new website? He said, come in here. We went into the computer lab because you had to go into the computer lab back then. Nowadays, everybody got their own laptops and stuff. You just need a Wi-Fi connection. We went to the computer lab. We was like, oh, snaps. What is this? It's like, nigga, this is Black Planet. It's Black Planet. I said, what do you mean? What happens on here? He said, you set up a profile and then you could just interact with people. What? What do you mean? He said, like right now, bro, they got a party going on this weekend up at MSU. This is what's popping. And then there was this bad black chick. She was an upperclassman. She was a person that was supposed to be overseeing what was happening inside of the computer lab. She's like, oh, y'all know about Black Planet? It's like, you on Black Planet? She's like, yeah, this is my profile right here. She's like, set your profile up. I'll be your first friend. Nigga, this is a game changer. Man, it was so much going on, happening all at the same time. I think I thought about that election maybe for like 30 seconds and it was up. It was up. But nobody care. Nobody tripping about none of that. Like, nigga, you on Black Planet? Like, oh, it's up. It's up. That's how I was. That's how I was. And then my homie was like, hey, bro, you know what the real play is? Same nigga that put me on Black Planet. I said, what? He said, let's scroll down to the bottom. I said, what's at the bottom? He was like, right here. I said, what's that? He said, Asian Avenue. I said, so wait a minute. Like Black Planet is for the black people, Asian Avenue is for the Asian people? I said, what's my gente? He said, my gente is popping too. He said, it's just like it. He said, but they got the Asians over there and they got the my gentes over here. I said, what? He said, they not up on this yet, bro. So, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I just don't know why. Those were interesting times. Interesting times. Nowadays, it's a different game. You got 19-year-olds trying to blow up the UFC at the White House. That used to be an older, more defeated man's game. That wasn't supposed to be a young man's game. This is an older, more defeated man's game. There's no reason why a 19-year-old should not be focused on boxolitis. You couldn't miss. You go to any college campus, go to MSU, go to Eastern. Well, that's over in Michigan. If you wanted to really make a trek, you can go to Western. That's all the way over there near Kalamazoo. You know what I'm saying? Go to Western. They ain't got nothing over there. They ain't nothing but box, and boxolitis. You know what I'm saying? If you really wanted to get elite, you went up to a Michigan party. Now, the Michigan party was where even more white people are. MSU was more segmented, though. You go to a party, you can't miss. It's guaranteed. You had a 97% win rate. You had a 97% win rate. At 19, you can't miss. 18, 19 years old, you have a 98, 97% win rate every time. It was no reason why you was not able to somehow, some way, successfully finesse your way into some box. No way. No way. That's all they wanted to do was give up the box. All you had to do was just be there. Couldn't miss. Couldn't miss to save our lives. That's all you had to do was just be there. Nowadays, everybody is so concerned about stuff that don't even mean nothing. The youth is wasted on the young. What's the quote? What's the quote, y'all? Quote. Youth wasted. That's what it is. The youth is wasted on the young. The youth is wasted on the young. It is. It absolutely is. Such a waste. Anyways, we'll revisit Jay-Z tomorrow. We got after hours tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. I need to take a nap, but I don't want to take a nap because I feel like I'm behind on work, and I don't know how to solve for that. I don't want your car texting me saying, man, what are you doing? You got to get on it. I know. Know what I'm saying, Keisha? All right, y'all, listen. After hours tonight, we back at it. And I had a lot of fun today, and I hope y'all have a lot of fun with me. And we get into it. Let me read some of these super chats, and I'm going to get y'all up out of here for the day. 25th, Pag Chasers. I'm going to put it up in the Patreon. We going to D.C., and it's going to be lit. Anybody that's ever been to any of my events, you know it's a good time. We're not there for a long time. We're there for a good time. I hit her with the, I don't feel like you hearing me. Manny plays. He balled at 19. No wonder he's mad, man. Pissed at his parents. Hey, shout out to Mama Dukes for calling the authorities on her son and his D&D friends. Mr. Lott in the building says, at 19, I had the Mike's Hard Lemonade and the ladies would have had the Arbor. Yeah, I remember the Arbor Mist bottles. And we have Four Locos. I used to have Heinekens. I don't know why I picked Heinekens as my go-to drink. Latrell, it wasn't even good to me. This dude should be at a furry con event. Facts, Latrell. Facts. All right, y'all. We got a good time coming up tonight. You said get my rest. I need to make sure I get my rest. I'm on it. All right, y'all. We in it tonight. I'm about to get to work. And we up. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.